Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, it's Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get class started. Everybody get the link out. If you don't know, we are located here at 8524 South Braeswood. Okay, and we also have classes in San Antonio, Texas, 4219 Centergate, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. If you want to get classes in New Mexico, if you want to get classes in any of these areas, my number is going to be on the bottom of the screen. If you're in these areas and you want to get to class, write the number down and you can hit us up, and we'll give you all the address and all the information. We have classes here in Houston, Texas from Monday to Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10, Fridays from 6 to 9, and then Sabbath morning classes from 10 to 2. What else we got here? We also have kids classes. They get together with the kids. They go over a lot of different topics, ranging from, a young age to, 12 years old, 13 years old. They talk about a lot of topics dealing with the kids. So if you're interested in your kids getting those classes, check us out on ISBHPK Kids. All right? Dealing with different topics and themes for them. Look out for our cable show, which is on channel 17. Okay, we're getting a new season for this year. So that's going to be coming up. We're going to give you the details when we get the new season going. All right, and that's on Houston Media Source, channel 17, if you're local here in Houston. All right, please check out Mashaba on Blog Talk Radio. He's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. All right, if you have any Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters, we're starting to load the Spanish-speaking classes up on ISBHPK. What is that, Guatemala? Which one did she load that to? Where's Caucada? Guatemala. I keep getting Guatemala, Honduras, and all these other countries. I keep getting them mixed up, but Guatemala, ISBHPK Guatemala. We loaded something up there right now, but we're going to get the other ones up there also. It takes a second editing these shows. So if you got Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters that you want to get the knowledge to, please go on there and hit them with those classes. All right, so we can go ahead and do our job and get the word out. What else we got here? Israel wear. If you're interested in the garments, you're interested in the head wraps, girdles, tunics, anything, the sisters can do it. They are amazing. They are amazing at getting it done, getting the garments done. So we have a lot of sisters that are learning. but we also have sisters that have been here and have been doing the garments for a while. So if you're interested, when the information is on there on the screen, it's you can always check it out on Israel Wear. You can always contact us. My number is 281-707-2737, which a lot of you brothers and sisters already, you already know. You hit me up. A lot of y'all hit me up about different questions. So, yeah. Let me see here. What else? Where's that link at? Where did you send the link through? I thought I just seen it. Did y'all send the link out? I thought I just seen it for some reason. Get the link out. We're going to do like we always do every class. We're going to start out with questions and then go into, let me see here. Then we're going to go into tonight's class. All right. Let's see here. Let me get the link out too. There's a few brothers and sisters that tune in to us. That listen to us. I want to get it out to them. What else we got here? That's it for the announcements. Oh, like always, if you brothers and sisters do want to help out the school, if you think at this point in time you listen to us and you feel like you're affiliated and you're going to continue and you want to support, we do need the support. We do need the help. We are doing this on our own. Esau don't help us. You brothers and sisters that have been helping, I want to thank y'all. And for all the other brothers and sisters that do want to help, the information will be up there for you to help us out. So we got ISPHBK at Google Pay, and then we also got an account number on there if you want to donate also. So keep that in mind. If your heart and spirit is open up to that, okay? And we thank all the brothers and sisters that always give and gave or whatever you did. You know, remember the Most High is going to reward you for whatever you do from your heart. All right? So let's go ahead and get into these questions. Let me see here. We'll go ahead and get into the different questions tonight. And then, if nobody got any questions, last class was all questions. So, if we get into, if nobody has any questions, then we'll go right into tonight's class. We touched on a lot of good questions last time. Was there, I don't know, were you here last class? No? Okay. So, we know how it is. Everybody's getting off work. Some brothers and sisters get to class late, and also some log in late. So, we try to give y'all the opportunity before we jump right into class. Okay. All right. Hey, whatever happened to that live meeting?
I need to get back on that.
Right, right. Yeah, because you were on that.
Matter of fact.
Okay. So we're trying to wait till they pill in here online so we can figure out what we're going to do. I don't want to jump right into it yet.
There's a question that says, will there be any Lambos in heaven?
Will there be any lamb?
Lambos.
Lambos? You said Lambos?
Yeah, Lambos.
Oh, Lamborghinis. That's what that shirt's for. That's what that short.
Well, I'm familiar with the hood a little bit. I was really trying to figure out, was this for real or was that a joke? But is there any Lambos in the kingdom of heaven? Of heaven, man. You know why? Because all things are going to be. I'm hoping not one drop of it is in the kingdom. As a matter of fact, I know not one drop of it is going to be in the kingdom. So no, they ain't going to be, and I'm entertaining this question because just to see who else would everybody get online. I don't know if you were kidding or not, but, well, you could be dead serious. Yeah, go to Revelations. Before we go to Revelations, go to 2 Peter 3. 2 Peter 3 and 12. 11. 10. Go to 2 Peter 3 and 10.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10.
And then we'll use this to wait till everybody gets in. Go ahead and read that.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
But the day of the Most High will come as a thief in the night. We know that everything that Yahushua has prepared, the way he's going to sneak up on the nations, the way he's going to sneak up on the blind is as a thief in the night. Christ is going to come as a thief in the night. Really to those that are asleep, because to us that are awake, we see what's going on. We see the days are nearing to an end. We see that all the prophecies that are coming to pass. But for the ones that are asleep, he's going to come as a thief in the night. Go ahead.
God. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Right. We know that great noise is a power sent from the Most High, sent from Yahushua, but also a mixture of those nukes. So they're going to try to fight Christ with these missiles or bombs or nukes or whatever. So we know that the heavens, this what we know now as America, is going to pass away. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, and the elements are going to melt because the fire of Christ, the fire of his indignation and his vengeance, mixed with the fire of this thermonuclear destruction, there's going to be a lot of burning that's going to happen. Go ahead.
The earth also, and the works that are therein.
See, and this is to answer your question, that the works that are in this kingdom, in this heaven, if you want to call this your heaven, we know it's a hell on earth, but their kingdom that is set up now, it's going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
Shall be burned up.
It's going to be what?
Burned up.
America is going to be what?
Burned up.
Babylon the Great is going to be what?
Burned up.
Yeah. This kingdom is going to be burned up. The Most High is going to destroy this place. Revelations 18 tells you Babylon the Great was going to be a continual memorial. It was going to be a burning. We're going to be able to look across the world and be able to see America as a memorial to know that what filth, what did it say in Revelations 18? Every dirty bird, every foul creature was over here in America. Esdras, it tells you, it says they lived as beasts before the Most High. So that's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
Go ahead.
What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy convocation?
All holy what?
Conversation.
Right, all holy conversation. So now we know what's going to happen. You know, think about what we're thinking about. What should be on your mind?
Holy.
Should it be the things of the world? Should it be money? Should it be cars? Should it be, you know, all these things that's going to get burnt the hell up? Or what should you really be talking about and asking about? Go ahead.
All holy conversation.
Read.
And godliness.
Right, read.
Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High.
Right, go ahead.
Wherein the heavens being on fire.
Right.
Shall be dissolved.
Right.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Uh-huh.
Nevertheless, we according to his promise.
Right.
Look for new heavens.
We look for what?
New heavens.
We look for what?
New heavens.
So, we look for new heavens. We look for a new thing that's going to happen on the earth. So all these things, man, that is now is temporal. We're not looking for that, man. Cars, you think the Most High is going to have cars or your vehicles functioning the way the white man in America has them? Off of pollution? You know, to where they're polluting the air? Nah. We look for new heavens. Go ahead.
And a new earth.
And a what?
New earth.
Read.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Right. That's what we're looking for. So, no. Nah, you ain't going to have Lambos. You ain't going to have these things what we know now. You're not going to have cars. We're going to have things beyond what you see or imagine now. Y'all see that? So he said, read verse 13 again.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens.
Right.
And new earth.
Right.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Mm-hmm. Wherein dwelleth righteousness. So go from there, and we're just touching on this. See what other questions y'all got to get them all out of the way. Go to Revelations 21, and you're going to start at verse 1. Revelations 21 and 1.
Revelations chapter 21 and verse 1.
Yeah, Revelations 21 and 1.
Give me a comment when you got it. And I saw a new heaven.
And I saw what?
New heaven.
Right.
And a new earth.
Go ahead.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And there was no more sea.
Go ahead.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High.
You see how, when it says sea, it doesn't mean that the waters are going to be washed up. That's talking about the nations. The nations are going to be wiped out. Wiped out almost to the point to where it's almost that they're not even there. So a very small number. The Bible says, as a drop to a wave. He says in 2 Esdras 8 that the world that is created to come is going to be a world for few. The world now is a world for many, but the world to come is a world for few. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city,
Yeah.
New Jerusalem,
Right.
coming down from the Most High,
Uh-huh.
out of heaven,
Right.
prepared as a bride,
Right.
adorned for her husband.
Right. And it's speaking twofold, because we're being prepared now. The Israelites are being prepared as a bride ready for Yahushai to be married. Okay? And then also the city. This city that the Most High has prepared is something that you can't even imagine. It's something that's not going to be built with hands. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men.
Right.
And he dwell with them. And they shall be his people.
Right.
And the Most High himself shall be with them.
Right.
And be their power.
Right.
And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
Right. That's when we get peace and rest. No more anxiety. No more hate. No more bipolar. No more depression. No more sadness. No more having to wake up every day going through the monotonous life and then trying to figure out where to go and what to do. Most High is moving that all. He's going to remove that all away. And it's starting now with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He's removing all the tears and pain and suffering all away. Go ahead.
And there shall be no more death.
Yeah. And why? Because the Most High is the children of Israel. The Most High is going to give a lot of the Israelites the power to have power over death. Go ahead.
Neither sorrow.
Right.
Nor crying.
Read.
Neither shall there be any more pain.
Yeah, you feel that pain in your knees and your legs and your body and your back? Well, this is what we're fighting for. And we're going to get to the point of your question. Go ahead.
For the former things are passed away.
Read it again.
For the former things are passed away.
Are we going to be thinking about cars? Listen, houses. You know, everything and how the white man in America does everything. I understand this now. I'm reading this book on the 10 tribes. And it goes into how when the white man came about, everything he did was contrary to the natural way we did things as Hebrew Israelites. Everything. From how he tilled the ground to how he talked. Bro, this book on the 10 tribes was telling you how that even communicating. He said when they sat back and they watched the Native Americans, that no one would interrupt each other. That they see the standard of order. That you would never see them talking over each other. Then it said the young men, they knew not to speak at all. They knew to just listen. But it said when the white man came there, they were looking at how the white man will argue with each other, how they would speak over each other. That's just one concept. So when it says in Isaiah 24 verse 5, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they transgressed the laws, the covenant, the contract, all these things, it's because when the white man came to this land, everything he taught us was contrary to what the Most High, what our character was, what righteousness was. Everything. So no, they ain't gonna be faggots, they ain't gonna be blunts, they ain't gonna be robbing, they ain't gonna be killing, they ain't gonna be, oh, you know what, I gotta make it day by day, so I gotta go rob somebody because I gotta get Pampers, I gotta get a sack, ain't gonna be none of that. Ain't gonna be, you know, 30-inch rims on a Cutlass. Ain't gonna be none of that. You're gonna have your chariots decked out. You know, you're gonna have your you know, when you look into that what's that series Altered Carbon, when they were living all the way up in the clouds, that's what we're gonna be doing, man. We're gonna be living righteously. We're gonna be above what everybody else is doing. Jerusalem is gonna be a high city, adorned with the Son of the Most High. He said he's going to be our son. So, nah, man. We're not, I don't want nothing to do with this place. I want everything to be gone. They can have it all. Because I know that Yahweh Shai has something better for us. So he said the former things are passed away. Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And he that sat up, and he that sat upon The throne said, Behold, I will make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words.
He said, I will make all things what?
New.
I will make all things what?
New.
So, no, there ain't going to be no Cadillacs. Because the white man doesn't even know how that all his vehicles, when Gad was here, when the North American Indians were here, they knew how to take care of the earth, the land, the trees, the ground, the water, the food. When the white man came, they messed up everything. So why would we have these vehicles that is going to mess up our new heaven and new earth? See, so no, we're not going to have these things. All right, go from there, go to it's what is it, St. John? Go to St. John. Go to St. John. I think it's hold on, let me find it. 14. St. John 14:1.
God, St. John chapter 14 and verse 1.
Right.
Let not your heart be troubled.
Right.
Ye believe in the Most High.
Right.
Believe also in me.
Uh-huh.
In my Father's house are many mansions.
Right.
If it were not so, I would not have told you.
Right. So you got to understand that what Christ is preparing for us is beyond this realm. It's beyond this life. It's beyond this lifestyle. It's beyond what you were taught. It's beyond what your mind can fathom. You can't understand what the Most High has prepared for us. And it's definitely not no Cadillac. It's definitely not all these carnal things that break down. Like, you got a Cadillac, then we got to be fixing that. You got to do oil changes, right? You got to do brake changes. We ain't doing that. You think the chariots, you think the angels is pulling into getting in?
Just brakes. They're going into Christian brothers.
Yeah, you think they pulling into just brakes? It ain't. Nah, man. Nah, there's new things that's created for us. A new heaven, new earth, new way of thinking, new way of feeling, new way of being, new way of living. That's what we're fighting for. That's why I'll do this all the way to death. Why? Because the white man hasn't shown me nothing to hope for, nothing to live for. All they give you is a job, and a diploma, a degree, and say, listen, this is life. And that's it? That's it. That's all we look for is the success, a white picket fence, then what? That don't fix nothing. No, you get all that, you're still looking around.
You get the 2.3 kids, the 2.5 kids.
2.5, right.
Right. You get the you gotta spend all your tax money to get the wedding ring. You gotta spend all your tax money. You gotta spend all types of money to get the car that's gonna break down. So the repairs and the monthly bills are gonna be more than what the car is actually worth.
Right.
Then you gotta
right.
Then you gotta it's always something.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So no, we're not looking for. I'm like, man, none of this is coming with us. None of this is coming with us. A new heaven, new earth. Go ahead, finish. Read on.
In my Father's house are many mansions.
Uh-huh.
If it were not so, I would not have told you.
Right.
I go to prepare a place for you.
Yeah, the Most High is talking about interdimensional. We worried about that, but that shows you how You know, it's not a shot at you on your question, but it's something that has to be said. It's like, think about where our minds are. You know what I mean? You think about how we pigeonhole ourselves to something that is just temporary. That's why a lot of our people ain't fighting for this, because they're temporary. We're fighting for things beyond the stars, beyond this crony-ass Kmart kingdom. You know what I mean? I don't want to see none of this. I want to be able to, I want to see the greater things that the Most High has prepared for us. So, you finished that?
Done.
All right, there was one more I wanted to get. There was another one. Yeah, it's on my head, but I can't think of it now. Nah, that's all good. I mean, I hopefully that answers your question. That, yeah, nah, man, we're not, you know what? Go to Corinthians. Go to Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. And I hope this ain't too deep. This is I hope it's not too deep, but this is real. This is real right here. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 1. Just to show you about these carnal things. Show you about these vehicles and things of that nature. Now, we are going to be here on earth, so don't get it twisted. Don't get it misconstrued like the Christianity told us that we're all going to have to die. No. The kingdom of heaven is going to be here on earth. It's just earth is going to be like the fourth dimension or the spiritual realm. It's going to be in order like God's realm. So that's why when you read back in that 21 chapter in Revelations, he said no hurt, no pain, no death. But this is on earth as it is in heaven. So read this 2 Corinthians 5 and 1.
2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved.
Right, so we know that this earthly house, the physical things that are going to be dissolved. At this point, Paul's talking about the body. We know that all these things are going to be dissolved. Go ahead.
We have a building of the Most High.
Right.
And house not made with hands.
Right.
Eternal in the heavens.
So we have something when we die, our spirit goes to the Most High. Right? We have something eternal in the heavens. Read on.
Verse 2.
Right.
For in this we groan.
Right.
Earnestly.
Right.
Desiring to be clothed.
Right. Now Paul's not saying that we grown to die. He's not saying we grown to die. Watch, read.
Desiring to be clothed upon our house.
Right. He said we are desiring that on our house that we to be clothed. Go ahead.
With our house, which is in heaven.
Right. Go ahead.
If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked.
Right. So we desire in the physical to put on the spirit like Yahweh Shai. Now think about it. We desire to be in the flesh, but to do the things of the spirit. To where you can think the thought and heal somebody. Right? You can have the power to walk on water. You have the power to change your water into wine. Right? That's the things of the spirit. Those were just little things. You think I'm giving a damn about about a vehicle? Hell nah. I'm thinking about the things that he said he got hid for us and he's preparing for us, and these spiritual things that we're fighting for. I ain't worried about none of this stuff. I want to have that power, that spiritual power. You know, when you look at that movie, who was it? The Widow. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson. She did the movie. Remember when she was taking that some like medicine?
Oh, Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy. Y'all seen Lucy, right?
God.
You see how she was able to change her hair? That's the power you want. To be able to walk and change and add to your stature. To change your hair. You want braids? You think of it. Braids. Done. You want to... That's the power we're talking about. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Did not Yahushua have that power? Khan. He had that power. Yahushua said, listen, he said, you don't even have to go. Heal my servant. He said, just say the word. Right? Remember when they touched the hem of Yahushua's garment? They touched his clothes and the woman was healed. It said they gathered around Yahushua and he disappeared from the midst of them. You talk about he had the power of the Spirit to change water into wine. Who can do that? So when you want braids, bam, your hair braids. You want them curly, your hair get curly. You want it straight, it goes straight. Right? That's the power we're looking for. We're looking to be clothed upon in the Spirit. So why are we fighting these things? Why are we fighting these things in this life? To be clothed upon in the Spirit, to have this spiritual power. All those damn X-Men movies and TV shows we watch, that's going to be us. That's us. Where do you think they get it from? That's the power that, listen, to lay people out in the street, and it said that the apostles walked past them and their shadow healed them. That's that power that they put on these X-Men movies and Marvel and DC. That's you. That's what we're fighting for. We're fighting to be gods. Not niggas that gotta change tires. Not niggas that gotta change tires and change oil. You understand that? That's what we're doing this for. You know who's gonna have to do that? Listen, we know there's gonna be a God level. The 12, it says, the 12 apostles would sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. They're going to be at a high level. Then you got the ones under them that said that the least shall be as David. Right?
God.
So you got certain level that it said they shall not taste death. Wait, where's Neiman at? What? What's up?
When we die, are we gonna live like how we? When we say I die like this, will I look like I'm gonna go there?
Or when you go to the Most High, you're gonna have a spiritual body.
What about when I'm in heaven?
You're gonna have it's a spiritual body. I don't know how you're gonna look. It doesn't say that. It says you have a spiritual body. So it doesn't say how you're going to actually look. You know, remember, you've been here many a times. So your spiritual body, it might look a certain way. It doesn't say, oh, you're going to look this way or you're going to look how you are at the present time. It doesn't say that. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For we that are in this tabernacle
Right.
do groan,
Right.
being burdened,
Right.
not for that we would be unclothed.
Right. Not that we just die. He said we're burdened in this physical tabernacle, not just to be like, you know what, forget it. For me to live is Christ, die is gain, and you die. No, he says that we what?
For being burdened,
Right.
not for that we be unclothed,
Right.
but clothed upon.
Yeah, not just because it's about dying to get to the Most High, but that in your body you be clothed upon with the Spirit. So these are the things we're fighting for. So, I know it's a simple question, but no, we're not looking for the things that are temporary. We're looking for the things that are eternal, man. That are going to last, that are going to be greater. We're going to be greater than what we are now. Yeah.
Well, two things, I was just thinking, for some, that Lamborghini is going to be a deal breaker. It's like, I'm sorry, I have to have that.
Right.
Our minds are so small, but my question, when you had said that we're going to be here on earth,
I need that charger. Yeah.
will be, and then there's heaven,
Right.
are we able to go back?
There's going to be some are going to be able to do that. Did Yahushua do it? He was able. At times, he was able. For him to transfigure on the mount, he was able to move in the spirit, right, while in the flesh. So some are, but there's an order. There's going to be an order to that. The 12 apostles, the 144,000, right? Like, think about it. You think the people that just come in at the last trump, they're going to get the same penny, which is the kingdom. They're going to get that, but are they going to get to sit up there with the 12? Not judging the 12 tribes. It's right over here.
So that realm is just specifically for, like, the ruling class, and then on earth will be the general population. But it'll be a new earth.
Yeah, it's going to be a new earth, new heaven, right? But no, what I'm saying is that you'll be able to move on that level to the spiritual realm and back. But once again, a certain elect, not everybody. It tells you in Isaiah that the least shall be as David. So now you see that, okay, even here on earth, there's going to be stature. There's going to be stature and level of, I don't want to use the word, but rankings, if you want to use it.
Like a hierarchy.
Yeah. The word really is stature. The righteous are going to be able to receive that, the gift of the kingdom, live in the kingdom. All Israelites are going to be able to live in the kingdom, right? They're the chosen. But there's still order, right? So, and like I said, you think about it. In Revelations, it says that these are they that, in Revelations and 2nd Ezra 13, these are they, the ones with the right robes, with they that went through much tribulation, right? They followed the Lamb whatsoever he went. There's a bigger reward for them than the ones that just come in the last trump. It'd be like a day before Yahushua get here, but they wake up. There's going to be a lot of them. They wake up. I'm an Israelite. I'm going to do whatever I can. And then Yahushua is going to judge them off of that. Them coming, changing, repenting. Right? They're going to get the kingdom. But they're not going to be sitting and doing the great things that the ones that followed and gave up and lost their life, gave up houses, cars, mother, brother, sister, and all those things. Right? So, yeah, man. Yeah. Will you have horses? Yeah. Will you have flying horses? Yeah. That's what you want them to do. Right? Now, if you want your chariot to look like a Lambo, let me dial it back. If you come through this fire and the Most High blesses you with this power, and you want your chariot to fly around the universe or the heavens, right? And look like a Lambo, I'm sure the angels, if that's what they wanted for their chariot, these so-called UFOs you see that can move at the speed of light, break the so-called that the sound barrier is not they're not confined by the sound barrier or the speed of light and all that. I'm sure they can, if they wanted their chariot to look like a Lambo, they can. So here, let me not crush all your hopes and dreams. You might be able to be like, listen, I want that. If you're gonna be able to change your stature, the brother might be like, you know what? I want him to look like a 7. I don't know why you would want that, but hey, you know, if you get the power, there's nobody that can say it can't be like that. So hopefully that answers your question. What else we got on there? We got any questions now?
John.
What we got?
What does it mean when my left eye is jumping?
Okay, y'all are kidding now, right? Bro, give me some questions, biblical questions.
Not
any wives' tales.
God.
If your eye's jumping, you know, y'all gotta stop it. Stop it, Israel. Y'all playing with me now. What does it mean your eyes jumping?
That happens. A little twitch.
Con. But when you get into that, you get into wives' tales.
Right.
So that's, you know, your nerves. You need more sugar. You need less sugar. I don't know. You know. Go ahead.
What does it mean when it feels like someone steps on your toes?
Bro.
Okay.
Okay. They're not here to do the push-ups, but if you read me one more of those dumbass questions again.
God, what type?
Hold on a second. I know. They're being silly, man. Come on, we got things to do. It's probably a new person. It ain't. Usually the brothers and sisters that tune in, they don't ask. They know what they're asking. Go ahead. What we got?
Okay, I thought Earth was going to be our heaven, or we going up in the sky.
I answered that question. The scriptures say, let's go there. Go to Matthew 6 verse 9. I answered that question. Ariel, why are you playing, man? Why you want to upset me?
Why you gonna name call?
You reading me that stuff. Why you reading me those silly questions? That's somebody that's being silly, man.
Hey, so I couldn't ask.
No, you can't ask. This is Bible questions. What the hell I know if somebody steps on your shoe? You steps on your toe. You step on the crack, break your mom's back. I don't know. What do I look like? Fucking a magician? Go ahead. Come on.
You said Matthew chapter 9?
Matthew 6 verse 9.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye.
Right.
Our Father.
Right.
Which art in heaven.
Right. So the Most High, which is in the spiritual realm, He's in the spiritual realm. Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. Go ahead.
Hallowed be thy name.
Right.
Thy kingdom come.
Holy be his name. His kingdom come. Go ahead.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done. I know it's very simple, but if you slow it down, it tells you what his will is going to be done, where it's going to be done. Go ahead.
On earth.
On where?
On earth.
Read.
As it is in heaven.
So when Revelations 21 says a new heaven and a new earth, it means that on earth it's going to be his will being done on earth, just like his will is being done in heaven. So yeah, it is going to be here on earth. So if that you misunderstood, let me reiterate it again, that yes, there is going to be on earth the kingdom of heaven. There is the spiritual kingdom of heaven, but that's the Most High rules that kingdom. Okay, but here on earth, we know that his son, Yahushua, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, and the Israelites are going to rule here on earth. So yes, it will be here on earth. All right? What else we got?
Who built the pyramids and what was the purpose?
Who built the pyramids and what was the purpose? Well, when you go back to Exodus, the pyramids was built by slaves, servants. And when you go into the pyramids, yeah, I mean, if you want to go to the thought process of the Egyptians. The thought process of the Egyptians might have been to align with the stars and to worship the stars. But we know the servants, the slaves had built, the servants and the slaves had built the pyramids were the Israelites. But now the reason might have been for the wrong reason. Remember, we did it under duress. We did it under captivity and slavery. So it wasn't our reason, but we built it. But the reason might have been because the Egyptians, they were worshiping the sun and the moon and the stars. Right? But the Bible doesn't go into all that. That's what we're here dealing with. We're dealing with the scriptures. The Bible don't go into all that. Now you can go and show how all these other nations, the gods of the other nations are idols. So yeah, they probably did it to worship the sun, the moon, the stars, some idols, but we built them. All right. What else? It
says, what are works?
What are what?
Works. W-O-R-K-S.
Okay, you got to be a little more specific with that question. What are works? What? What is it?
Like, are your work that you do, like for the body?
Oh, what are works for the body?
I'm assuming.
Specify, so that way I won't have to guess what you're saying. We're guessing you're saying what are the works in Christ? Is that what you're saying? What else we got while we're waiting for that?
Does the new moon begin tonight or tomorrow night? Or did I miss it?
I have to check that on the new moon. I have to check the new moon. Now, the Sabbath begins tonight, sundown. Okay? The Sabbath begins tonight, sundown. All right? I got a question here in Ecclesiastes 6 verse 8. Go there. Ecclesiastes 6 verse 8.
In the Biblia?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
For what hath the wise,
Right.
what hath the poor that knoweth to walk before the living?
That was it?
God.
All right, let's read up a little bit. Get a little context on this. Ecclesiastes 6 verse 8. That's where he's at.
God.
Wait. Ecclesiastes 6, right. So, read 6 and 6.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 6.
Yeah.
Yea, though he live 1,000 years.
Right.
Twice told, yet hath he seen no good. Not all go in one place.
Right.
All the labor of a man is for his mouth.
Right.
And yet the appetite is not filled.
Right, so Solomon is talking about man living, right, and dying. And he's pointing out here in the 7th verse that man's desires is never filled. That's why the scriptures tell us about desiring, being carnal minded, because you're trying to feed the flesh what can never be pleased. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Verse 8.
For what hath the wise more than the fool?
Right.
What hath the poor that knoweth to walk before the living?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit.
So, for what hath the wise more than the fool? You know, when Solomon talks about that a lot and compares the wise and the fool, he's comparing and saying, in a lot of these instances, like, what's the difference? Like, we all die, you know, and that's why he goes back and forth and says vanity and vanity is all is vanity, because he's like, dang, what is the difference? Well, we know the difference is that, you know, because when he concludes, the conclusion of the whole matter is to serve the Most High and follow the commandments of the Most High. So he answers this as you read on. What is the difference between the wise and the fool? Well, the fool is not going to live righteously, is going to have pain, is going to have suffering, is going to have torment. Why? Because he's walking as a fool. Right? All his life he's going to toil and not understand what he's toiling for and what he's working for or what to work for. And now, and the reason why I'm answering it like this, because there's a lot, when you go into the fool, we can go to over all these scriptures about the fool and show you why there is going to be, you know, in the context of being a fool, you lose. Okay? But in the context of what he's saying about death and how we're equal, is that we all go to the same place. When you die, you die. Whether wise, right? Whether being a wise man or being a fool, you all are going to die. So read it again. We're Ecclesiastes, what is it?
Chapter 6 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
For what hath the wise more than the fool?
Mm-hmm.
What hath the poor that knoweth to walk
Mm-hmm.
before the living?
Right.
Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire.
You see that? So, what is it? What's the difference between these people? The wise, the poor, right? What is the difference is going to be between these individuals? Where does you being a fool lead you? Where does being a wise man lead you? Right? You being poor, even when you go back in these chapters, he tells you about a poor man that is wise is somewhat despised. Right? So, but as you read, you see that he's going down and read down.
God. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit.
Right.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
That which hath been is named already.
Right. What is vanity and vexation of spirit? That when you look at the wise, you look at the fool, you look at the poor, we all go to one place. We all die. Right? So you got to understand what context he's talking in. Because if you read you read the scriptures, you find out that he's not saying this. It's pointless if you're a fool. It's pointless if you're wise. He's not saying that. He's saying that in the context of death, you know, we all go to the same place. All right? So that's on that. What else we got?
It says...
what else?
It says, what if I struggle to convince others? As in, not good with the biblical passages.
2 Timothy 2:15. So what do you say? What if I struggle with what?
To convince others.
Yeah, you gotta. We keep saying it, and we'll go to the scriptures. Go to 2 Timothy 2:15. Then go to, we're going to go to Ecclesiastes. Go ahead.
Okay. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
You got to study. You know, we know the zeal in our people. You're like, man, I want to teach. I want to wake people up. But before you do that, you got to study. You can't jump the gun. See? It says what?
Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High.
Right.
A workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
Because you're a workman. You're a soldier called for the Most High to do his will. So you being a workman, for you not to be ashamed, you got to know your work. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you put yourself on Craigslist. Yeah, I fix sinks, I fix roofs, right? But you really didn't go to school. You just got good at it. But your education wasn't all the way through. Then you go to somebody's house and you do half work. And you patch the hole wrong. You fill the sink wrong, right? You put the pipe in wrong. You got to know your craft, man. You know, we always talk about this. The scriptures say, the zeal of my people have eaten them up. You can't let your zeal be so zealous that you have a zeal but not according to knowledge. You got to sit down, learn, before you start opening up your mouth to everybody. That way they don't catch you. They don't catch you in a situation where you don't know. And you can get better at being, you know, having the diversity to teach brothers and sisters. I mean, that's what this is about, right? Con? Or not? Con? That's what it's supposed to be about. Hold that and go to Ecclesiastes 18 and 19. Ecclesiastes 18 and 19. Con. Go ahead, read that. Ecclesiastes 18, 19.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
Learn before thou speak.
Do what?
Learn before thou speak.
Right. In this day and age, I know, brothers, you can't have a false zeal and you're not educated to be able to teach your people the right way. So you got to learn first. You got to sit down. You got to learn how to teach. You got to be able to understand what you're talking about. You got to be sure within yourself. You know, you don't want to be one of these guys on there that just fly by night Hebrew Israelites that you're talking until somebody throw you. They open the book 100 questions to ask a Hebrew Israelite, and then they just, your whole brain. Well, it says here he had 70 kids, and over here he had 69. See, I know the Bible was a lie. And then you like, what do I do? You don't want to be that. So if God created a rock that he can't pick up, could he pick up the rock that he created? Answer that one. Answer it. They look at you like they got you. And like, why are you wasting my time? But those be catching some Israelites. You be like, dang. Right? How do you know if your toe got stepped on? I don't know what to do about this anymore.
What kind of body is the fish have?
You know, what? What kind of bodies do fish have?
Yeah. That was a question.
What kind of bodies do fish have? But you know they're clowning. But my point is that, answering this question, you gotta know, you gotta study, you gotta get in here, man. You gotta learn your history. You gotta learn this archaeology, the anthropology. You gotta learn all these things that is this Bible is talking about, because that's really what it is. A lot of archaeology, a lot of anthropology, a lot of study of the people that come from the past. That's how you find out you're the Jew. Remember, I always say that we know that according to the Bible, right, the tribe of Judah, that the children of Israel, Deuteronomy 28, right, will go into captivity on ships, right? But how do we know the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar is the so-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitian, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Panamanians, Mexicans? How do we know that? Did you just read the Bible and say, hey, Judah, that's the so-called black people? What black people? The African people? The Indian black people? Right? There's a lot of black people on the earth. What did you have to add to the Bible to get the understanding? Huh?
I mean, you have to study the history.
You have to study the history. So you got a lot of history, anthropology, archaeology that you have to study. This ain't, brothers keep thinking like, oh yeah, you just read the Bible and you get the precept. Yeah, but that's why you're getting all mixed up about who's Japhet and who's Esau. Who's Japhet and who's the so-called white man. The 9.5, or they're part of Israel or not. You know why people get mixed up on that? Because they haven't studied and they listen to some bird brain that told them otherwise, and instead of really listening and studying, getting the information and knowing for a fact what the hell you're learning. So yeah, before you open up your mouth, you gotta study. You gotta learn, right? So read it again.
Done. Ecclesiastes chapter 18 and verse 19.
Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, 18 verse 19. Go ahead.
Done.
Go ahead.
Learn before thou speak.
Do what?
Learn before thou speak.
Right. Learn before you speak. What?
Did you want to? I have another one. I have a couple more.
Yeah. What you got?
Isaiah chapter 50 and verse 4.
So it says, learn before thou speak. You're where? Isaiah 50 and 4?
Done.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
Isaiah chapter 50 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
The Lord God hath given me the tongue of the learned.
Right.
That I should know how to speak.
Right.
A word in season.
Right. So, but how did you do that? Flip back to 2 Timothy 2:15.
God, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
Go ahead.
Rightly dividing.
But how do I know how to rightly divide? You were a Christian at one time, but how come you never knew all your years of Christianity how to go to the Bible, and you didn't even know nothing about precept upon precept? We talked about this a while ago. Yeah, you can say, yeah, I knew, but you didn't know. You had to be what? Taught. Then you had to what? Learn. Then you had to what? Study. So you have to study. That way you can rightly divide the word of the Most High. You can go through the precepts pertaining to whatever topic, point, subject, and be able to know the Bible and go to those points and topics and subjects. Like if you ask me, for instance, you're asking me about how do you get better at, what was the question? What was the question again? How do I have problem convincing other people, right?
Done.
About the Bible, right? Well, I'm not going to go to, well, Christ is black. The Jews are black. That's not even on the topic. That's not even on the subject. But that's how a lot of brothers do. They pull scriptures they know, and bring it to a wrong topic and subject. It's not even on the point. Like, what does that have to do with Christ being black? Is not going to answer this specific question. So, hey, I've seen it. You go on YouTube, they be pulling scriptures out for the wrong, because why? You got everybody want to be a teacher, and nobody want to sit down and learn, and go through the Bible and actually study it. So you got to learn to speak. You know, don't let your zeal eat you up to the point to where you're just going to spit out anything and confuse people more. That's why you got YouTube. You got a lot of people on there saying things that's not true, that another scripture contradicts, and they don't know, or they just splurt it out, you know. And then you go to the other scripture and it contradicts that. So you got to study. What you got?
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28.
Proverbs 15. Verse 28. Yep, read that.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
Right, read it again.
The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
There you go. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer. See, go ahead.
But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
Yeah, because they don't study, so they're just going to say things like, you can't ejaculate in your wife. That's against the commandments of the Most High. That's stupidity. Right? Japhet is the so-called white man. Well, how come the end of the world is started by the white man? Or what do they say? Japhet is not the white. No, it's so damn confusing what they think. But what is it? What do they say about?
Japhet is the white man. So-called white
Japhet is the white man, and the white man is not Esau. So how come Esau is the end of the world? Esau is the end of the world. Who's bringing the end of the world upon us?
Esau.
Right? The so-called white man.
Lower the field, lower the hunting.
The hunter. But, you know, and I could go on and on and on and on and on. But the point is, if you want to get it, brother or sister, whoever's asking this, learn, sit down, and be taught. That way you can do it the right way. You can teach your people the right way, and you won't run your mouth and say things that is not correct. And most of all, when you go ahead and finish that real quick.
That was it.
What is it, Hebrews? When you ought to be teachers? And then go from there. Let me find it. Go to... Is it Hebrews or Timothy's?
When you ought to be teachers.
Yeah.
5 and 2.
Hebrews 5 and 2?
Or
Right.
5 and 12, I'm sorry.
Hebrews 5 and 12. Go there. Hebrews. Where we at, brother?
We are in Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. Son.
Read that for me, brother.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12.
Read.
For the time, ye ought to be teachers.
Read.
Ye have need that one teach you again.
That's right. Because we're from Texas. So we're going to read it correct. He said that you need someone teach you again. Go ahead.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Right. Sorry for our Texas accent. That's real. The first principles of the doctrine is you need someone teach you. A lot of our people don't want to be taught. They don't want to sit down. They don't want to. They want to tell everybody their faults, but not correct their faults. Like I said, I could go all in on this topic. I'm not. I'm gonna jump to the next question. All right, but brother, this is what the scriptures say: sit down, learn, give yourself time, just like any and everything else in the earth. If you want to learn something, sit down and learn. All right. What else? What else we got? Any other questions? Yeah.
You did answer. You said, "What are works in Christ?"
Oh, what are works in Christ? So we're going back to that question. What are works? What are works in Christ? Where do you want me to start? Right?
That's right.
You know, there's many works in Christ. Okay? But you know, I mean, I'm trying to figure out where to start with you. That you're a minister, you're a servant. The Bible says you're a minister. He calls us husbandmen. He calls us stewards. So all these things he's calling you is to be at service to your people. So let me start out with something very straight to the point. Go to Matthew 24. I said go to Matthew's. St. Matthew's, brother.
Con.
24.
St. Matthew's chapter 24. That's the book I'm reading from, sir.
Read, brother. You're going to read out of the holy book, brother. You're going to read...
B-I-B-L-E.
So, some of the straight to point works, right? Read Matthew's 24:31.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 31.
Read that.
God. And he shall sin. Wow. And he shall sin.
Wait. I'm sorry. Matthew's 25. Excuse me. Matthew's 25:31. Read that.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Go ahead.
And before him shall be gathered all nations.
Go ahead.
And he shall separate them one from the other.
Read.
As shepherds divided his sheep from the goats.
So no, we're not going to be all gathered together, kumbaya, all holding hands, and Christ comes out throwing out flowers to everybody. It's not going to be none of that. When Christ comes back, it's going to be a division of the nations. Most of all because a lot of nations are going to come and try to go to war with him, and they're going to be overthrown and destroyed. But he's going to separate the Israelites from all these nations. Go ahead.
God, verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand,
right,
and the goats on the left.
Right.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand,
go ahead.
Come ye, blessed of my Father.
Read.
Inherit the kingdom.
Read.
Prepared for you.
Right. So what is going to get us to inherit this kingdom? What works? Going right into your question. What works? Go ahead.
Prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Go ahead.
For I am, verse 35.
Right.
For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat.
Right.
I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink.
Right.
I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me.
Right.
I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
Go ahead.
Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when have we seen thee hungered?
Right. So when did we do these things? When did we do these things? We didn't see you, Yahushua. You've been with your father. Go ahead.
Or thirsty, and gave thee drink.
Go ahead.
When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in?
Read.
Or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came in unto thee?
Right. When did we do these things? What are these things? When did we do these charitable acts? when did we see you and you were hungry? Not only for food, you see these brothers and sisters dying out there in the street, right? They need food, they need clothes, they need all these things. But most of all, they need to be taught how to get these things. They need to be taught how to be blessed and how to be, how to get them in the graces of the Most High. So what do? You teach them, you show them, you give them the knowledge, you bring them from darkness to light. This is the first steps. This is everything to why. This is what is going to get us in the kingdom. When you see your brother hunger and you feed him, you clothe him, you visit him in prison. Go ahead.
Verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them,
go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren.
Right. When you do it to the least of my brethren. So, answering your question, you better be doing these things. When you did this to the brethren, go ahead.
Ye have done it unto me.
Go ahead.
Then shall I say also unto them on the left hand,
right?
Depart from me, ye cursed,
right?
Into everlasting fire.
All right, go from there, go to John. Let's stick on the point or the question he's asking. Well, what are my works in Christ, right? Well, straight to the point. Let's get even more straight to the point. Go to St. John 21, verse 16.
St. John chapter
21 and 16. Now you got it. You got the accent.
It's hard to break too.
I
didn't want to do that. St. John chapter 21 and verse 16.
St. John 21 verse 16.
Go ahead. He said unto him again the second time.
Right.
Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?
He said, you love me, what?
Lovest thou me?
Go ahead.
He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee.
Right.
He said unto him, Feed my sheep.
Do what?
Feed my sheep.
Right. Feed my sheep. Right? So, what are the works? I mean, we can go, bro, whoever asked the question, we can take years and weeks, and every class we go into is about the works of the Most High. What works are we doing? We know what mission Yahweh Shai, Christ, sent us out for was to feed his sheep, to teach his people. You got those works, but then you got righteous works within yourself, you changing. You putting off the old man. You got those works. So it's not just the works of the ministry, the service, the duty, the office, but it's also the works that you're supposed to be doing within yourself. The fruits that you're supposed to be bringing within yourself. So there's many works. Read it from the top. Read it again.
God. St. John chapter 21 and verse 16. He said unto him the second time.
Right.
Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee.
Right.
He said unto him,
right.
Feed my sheep.
Right. So slow down. Wait. Right. Feed my sheep. You understand that?
Time.
You got to feed the sheep of the Most High. But like we went over earlier, you got to learn before that. You got to sit down and be taught. Go ahead.
Verse 17. He said unto him the third time.
Go ahead.
Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?
Right.
Peter was grieved.
Right.
Because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him,
right.
Lord, thou knowest all things.
Right. Why you keep, basically you got irritated. Like, you already know this. Why you keep asking me? Go ahead.
Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh Shai said unto him, Feed my sheep.
Right. Feed my sheep. So, that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what this, bro, the scriptures said to the men and the women of the Israelites, you are a royal generation, a royal priesthood. Your job is no longer to live your life, but to live this life as a servant of the Most High. To be called out of what you thought your purpose was and to be called to the duty and service of your nation. Why? Because that's the preparation for us to prepare our kingdom. So I'm going to say like Paul said. Go to 2 Corinthians 9 and 1. 2 Corinthians 9 and 1.
2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 1.
Oh, whoa. Go ahead, Lamar. Read it.
Come.
2 Corinthians 9 and 1. Read.
For as touching the ministry of ministering to the saints,
Right.
it is superfluous
Right.
for me to write to you, for I know the foreignness of your mind.
Right. Superfluous, unnecessary, especially though being more than enough. You know what he's saying? He's saying that I shouldn't have to write this. Why? Because you should already know what your job is. Read it again.
Come. For as touching the ministering to the saints,
Right.
it is superfluous for me to write to you, for I know the foreignness of your mind.
Right. See, the scriptures are showing us that we're supposed to already know this. This is about the ministering to our people, ministering to our nation. So what works? Like I said, I can go all day. Right?
God.
We can go all day with this topic. You're supposed to be ministering and doing the work of an evangelist. You're supposed to be ministering to the saints. The scriptures say if you give a prophet a cup of water, you receive a prophet's reward.
God.
Your job is not, whatever you did in your life, Yahweh Shai said in the parable, go get them that are idle.
Idle.
You ain't doing nothing. You're selfish.
God.
Go get them that are idle and call them and bid them to the marriage. So what are the works of the Most High? For you to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and feed his sheep. That's what it is. Go from there. Finish that. Read it one more time.
For as touching the ministering to the saints, it is superfluous for me to write to you.
Right.
For I know the foreignness of your mind.
Right. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. That's the works that you're going to put forth. Go to Romans 12 verse 1.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1.
Now, check this out. This is going to show you. Now, this is what this is going to do. This is going to kind of consolidate the dual purpose of your life. Because it is a dual thing happening here. We're ministering to the saints, but we're also, our works are changing. So as I'm ministering to you, I'm working on myself. Those works are seen of the Most High. Because or else I'll be a reprobate. I'll be a hypocrite. So there is two things going on here when you get this knowledge. You're getting it to change, and you're getting it to help others change. So that's the works of the Most High. So read that.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
I beseech you therefore, brothers.
Slow it down just a little bit, bro.
God.
You're moving too fast. Go ahead.
I beseech you therefore, brethren,
Right.
by the mercies of the Most High,
Uh-huh.
that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
That's what you're doing. On all levels. So what are the works of the Most High? That's the question. You're presenting your body as a living sacrifice.
God.
In what way? You yourself has to change, and you are now committed to the ministry. Why do you think he told him, feed my sheep? Right?
God.
Go ahead.
Present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Yeah, he don't want you dead. He don't want you part-time. He wants a living sacrifice. Go ahead.
Holy.
Right. So he doesn't want anything. He wants a pure, holy sacrifice. Go ahead.
Acceptable unto the Most High.
Right. He wants it the way he said. So now we're learning that our giving has to be according to what the Most High wants. Our works have to be according to what the Most High wants. Go ahead.
Which is your reasonable service.
Right. It's reasonable. Why? Because Yahweh Shai, HaMashiach, died for you on the cross So this is a reasonable service. It's a reasonable service for you to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, change yourself, and give yourself over to the duties and service of feeding his sheep. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
But how are you going to do it? Well, the biggest problem is that you can't be conformed to your service and duty to what you think in this life. If you love mother, father, sister, brother, and your job, your car, your house, your life more than him, then you're going to be reluctant to give your body as a living sacrifice. Period, point blank. So like I said, when you open up that can, what are the works? We live in these scriptures. Every class you get is about you getting your stuff together and doing works for the Most High. You picking up your brick and putting it in for the Most High. But it starts with you learning and correcting yourself. And that way you can be an asset to do those works. Feeding the hungry, clothing them, visiting them in prison, teaching them, converting them. It's a job that he's preparing the children of Israel for. The chosen, the elect. Go ahead.
But be ye transformed.
Right?
By the renewing of your mind.
So you're talking about the works of the Most High. This is it. You got to be transformed. You got to be changed. Go ahead.
By the renewing of your mind.
Right.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Go ahead.
For I say this. For
right.
I say, so through grace, through the grace given unto me,
right,
to every man that is among you,
right,
not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
You see that? Why? Because there's a lot of cats that are told you got to present your body a living sacrifice. But Paul's reminding you the grace is supposed to propel you. The grace is supposed to motivate you. The grace that you're able to wake up every day and through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, your eyes can be open. So that's the grace that pushes us. It motivates us to wait. You know what? No, it's nothing to give myself as a living sacrifice. Because that's what I'm living. That's what my life is for. Right?
Because when you think about it, the life that we lived before the knowledge was meaningless.
Yeah.
Like we rolled through society, rolled through time. You're passing time by going to work, paying your bills. You have no substance in your life. You're doing nothing. You might leave a little inheritance for your kids if you do. For most individuals on this chart, Judah all the way down to Issachar, so-called Negroes and Hispanics, we don't leave that. We leave just nothingness, man. So the purpose that this knowledge is, come on, man. So our purpose is on a whole nother level now, because now we're helping, like you said, we're being stewards to other people's lives.
Right.
But for the building of our kingdom.
Right.
We're sitting here literally wasting our lives for a meaningless society that don't care about us.
A meaningless day by day in and out job that you gonna have regardless.
Right.
You're gonna have to work regardless. We in captivity. But 70%, 90% of your duty, of your service, supposed to be to presenting your body a living sacrifice to the Most High. What are you doing in that office? So, you know, you open up a can of worms when you tell us what are the works of the Most High. Because we're going to give you the work. We're going to show you straight out what is the will of the Most High. Because you know why? This is what people, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear, like, a lot of our brothers and sisters still think it's church. That, like, you do what the hell you want to do. Con, you do. You do what you want to do. But the chosen, the ones that are called, the ones that are going to make it in the kingdom, they're going to present their bodies a living sacrifice. Everybody else, they're going to be reluctant, and they're going to try to play and straddle the fence. The apostles said, listen, we have given up all. They didn't say, you know what, Yahweh, I got shit to do. I got things to do. Excuse me. I got things to do. I can't kick it with you over there. I can't do that. You know who those were? Those were the ones who went away crying. You know, because they didn't want to give up their possessions. They didn't want to give up mother, father, sister, brother, houses, cars, wives, kids, and all that. So they went away sad, like, man, I can't give up time with my rib. You could add that there. And he went away sad and crying because he was whipped. You know the other word. He was whipped.
No more boots.
He went away sad and crying because why? He thought burying his father, he thought burying his mother, he thought I gotta go turn off the stove was more important than how shall I be right back? I just gotta turn off the stove. Well, let your mama turn off the stove. No, I gotta do it. You try to act like that's important. You can add and for y'all that know what I'm talking about, when the person ran up to him and said, "Oh, I gotta bury my mother, bury my father," right? Or the one ran up to him and said, "Yeah, I follow the commandments for my youth up," right? He said, "Go sell everything you have." Hey, those are the epitome of them not giving themselves to the work and finding an excuse. What's up?
Because they're like, nowadays people trust more in their position and in their riches than in the Most High.
They don't know what it means to present their bodies a living sacrifice. That's why Paul is saying the grace propels them. That's why we tell all you young brothers in here, don't get pigeonholed. Don't get pigeonholed in a seat. You get pigeonholed in a seat and you're like, well, what now? I took the soldier's test. So you in the kingdom now? You took the whole soldier's test. Woo! Woo! You made it to the kingdom? Like, what next? You know what I mean? I mastered giving a prophet a cup of water. Woo! What next? You see that? When I came in, I didn't get pigeonholed to monotony. You got to understand that the full duty and service is to keep growing so you can be a greater asset to your nation.
Right, not getting comfortable.
Not getting comfortable. A lot of brothers get comfortable.
Like it's a routine.
Complacent. So for y'all that just walked in, somebody asked, what is the work? So we're going through that. Go ahead, finish that.
Con. I'll start it from the top.
Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For I say, through the grace given unto me,
right,
to every man that is among you,
right,
not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
Yeah, because you got a lot of cocky ass niggas amongst you think you special.
Jesus, right.
You're like you're different. No, man, we all gonna have to go through these things and suffer and change, put off the old man, put on the new man. We all gonna have to grab our books, get a pen, a Bible, a paper, a apocrypha, write the scriptures down, study to show ourselves approved. Nobody just was born with, I didn't just wake up like, I know it all. Go here, go here, go here. Nobody was able to do that. You had to sit down and learn. But the grace propelled you to be a better servant and to do the work better. You know, in a better way. It goes back to the question earlier when he said, I'm not good at being able to reach people. Well, you gotta learn. You gotta be alert. Yeah, the scriptures say it's in Ecclesiastes about the kings, about the great men, that they had to humble first to be before honor is humility. Find that one. Or before humility is honor. Before honor is humility, right? Right? But people don't understand that. You think like, no, I just jump to that top. No, you got to go through these processes so you can be great at being a servant to the Most High. Get that one. Go ahead, read on.
Con.
Uh-huh.
But to think soberly.
Go ahead.
According as the Most High hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
So as you come in and you're learning how to present your body a living sacrifice, let the grace keep pushing you and the faith in you keep giving according to that as it grows. It's a measure of faith, like, right? We know when you come in, you ain't, oh yeah, put me in, coach. You come in and you're what? You're reluctant. You just want to do class, 7 to 10. But that's where your faith is. Well, do that. At least give to the measure of that faith. Then, after 6, 7, 8 months, then it's like, hey, I want to do more than just coming to class. What are y'all doing? Flyers, flyers, street speaking, I want to do that. You're at the street speak, you're like, I want to just do more than just passing out flyers. I want to read. Okay, do that. Give according to your measure of faith. Then you're reading. You're like, wait a minute. I want to do more than just reading and passing out flyers and street speaking. I want to be up and teach. Then you keep moving. Oh, damn, I'm teaching. I want to do more than that. So you got to learn how to be a better counselor. And while all this is happening, you're being better within yourself, a better husband, right? More humble, more meek, more giving, more loving, more of the fruits of the Spirit. So all these things is happening at one time as you're working. This is the work, right? So the faith and the grace is pushing you. Read on, Romans 12:4. Go ahead.
God, verse 4. For as we have many members.
Right, see, and this is what you're understanding. As you present your body a living sacrifice, you're looking around and you're knowing, okay, there's many members in the body. There's many things I can do. Go ahead.
For we have many members in one body, but all members have not the same office.
Yeah, so if I'm presenting my body as a living sacrifice, and I see everybody taking on these different services and duties in the ministry, everybody don't have the same office. So you can't say, well, I'm just not needed. What am I going to do? Your lazy ass, there's always something for you to do. Your lazy ass, there's always something for you to do. Besides, get the knowledge, sit there, eat it up, and then go home and be fat while everybody else starves. The works is for you to keep moving forward. Little by little. Keep propelling. Keep growing. Go ahead.
Verse 5. So we, being many, are one body in Yahushua.
But we got to understand that. See, that's what we don't understand. And I'm going for Paul, the same context of what Paul is talking about. He said you present your body as a living sacrifice. But you don't understand that you are part of the body that's of the bigger body. You're part of this little camp. But then there's 75,000 other camps, little camps. But when you are not an asset in where you need to be and how you're growing, you hold back the bigger body. The scriptures say the whole earth waiteth on the manifestation of the sons of God. So you got to understand that, yeah, you're a little piece of the body. Don't get pigeonholed to just one thing and think, oh, you know what? Well, I'm not really needed. You got already a good teacher here. That's me. What are you doing? I can get shot tomorrow. What then? It's supposed to be just one teacher? 2 teachers? 3 teachers? You understand? So you're supposed to be moving up and keep being part of the body and an asset. This is the works. Go ahead.
God. So we, being many members,
right?
One body in Yahushua.
Go ahead.
And every one members one of another.
Agreed.
Having then gifts differing to the grace that is given.
Right. You see that? Then everybody, you'll learn your gift. You'll learn what you're good at. And you start giving according to your gift. And yeah, a lot of us going to be mortal. You know, a lot of things we'll be great, we'll be good at, and then certain things you'll be great at. That'll be your theme, right? We're all going to know the knowledge. You're all going to be able to break down John 3:16 in the color of Christ. You should. You're a Hebrew Israelite. But certain things might be you'll be better at. Oh, this brother is known for his patience. Yeah, all brothers and sisters are patient, but him, he's more patient. Oh, she is good for her counseling. Oh, she's good for her strength. Everybody's good in the part of the body. Go ahead.
God. Having then gifts differing according to the grace.
Go ahead.
That is given to us.
Go ahead.
Whether prophecy, let us prophesy.
Right.
According to the portion of faith.
Go ahead.
Or ministry.
Go ahead.
Let us wait.
It says, or ministry, let us what?
Wait.
Read.
On our ministering.
Go ahead.
Or he that teacheth.
Right.
On the teaching.
Right. You see that? So there's parts of the body. Yeah. Well, I'm not a teacher, so I'm not really important. I mean, you keep saying that, and then we're like waiting on you. It's like we had a council the other night. I told brothers, I'm waiting on y'all. We can't do all these brothers on here, sisters on here talking about, hey, well, when y'all come back out to here? When y'all coming out here? Well, we can't do that if there's only 2 or 3 teachers. We're waiting on you. We can't move until you stop getting in this pigeonhole of like, well, this is what I'm doing. Because you got to grow in that. You're part of the body. Go ahead, read.
Verse 8, or he that exhorteth,
right,
on exhortation,
read,
he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity.
Right, like we were talking about the other day about y'all that are not doing nothing. And you're giving, and right now it's just alms. Well, then at least do that. Damn, help us out some way. Israel is a trip, and you don't want to do nothing.
Damn.
You'll sit there, you will eat, get fat, and you won't do nothing. You see that? Do something. Go ahead.
He that ruleth with diligence.
Right? You see that? Everybody in the order of their body. Okay, if you're an officer of 50, well then do your job. You the brother that do the signs, well do your job. Don't act like, well, you know, it's just signs, it's not important. If everybody said that, we wouldn't have a workings of the body. Right? Well, I'm just the guy that comes to class. Well then, damn, be at class then.
Time.
Until you learn you're better at, you get better. You see that?
Time.
This is the work. Go ahead.
He that showeth mercy.
Right.
With carefulness.
Yeah, with cheerfulness.
Cheerfulness.
If you're just that guy or that brother or sister, you might not have no rank. You might just be that person coming to class. Why can't it be with a cheerful spirit? When you come around everybody, it ain't like, they don't like me. I'm just good. She don't like me. He don't like me. Just come around with a good spirit. Could you do that?
Dang.
You see how Paul is just breaking it down easily and showing you what it meant to present your body a living sacrifice. But you got to understand it's part of the body. You got to realize there is a body. You got to realize you're an asset in the body. You got to realize that you have to add to the body and present your body. Come on, read.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Remember, I just said it earlier, right? It's not only you're giving, but you're doing this within yourself. So now he's talking about these spiritual things that erupt in you, and you're changing. Let love be without what?
Dissimulation.
See, it can't be fake. It can't be, I'm changing within myself, or I'm doing all these things as part of the body and ministering in the work, but then it be fake love. Unsincere, unreal love. Go ahead.
Abhor that which is evil.
Right? What?
Abhor that which is evil.
So these are the spiritual things that erupt in you and the fruit of your spirit as you're working for others, as you're giving that prophet a cup of water. You got to know it got to be with love, or else what? I'm giving that brother a cup of water and I really don't want to do it. And it ain't working. They got to work together in the spirit. Come on.
Cleave to that which is good.
Right. See, you see this?
God.
No, let me not look at the weak examples. Everybody that's weak, I'm going to look at them. But when the strong comes, you got the strong brothers and sisters bearing the burden in the work. They're not looking at that. They're not saying, damn, I want to be like that. Damn, you do like all these things. You do this. You do that. I want to do that. You looking at the lazy ones. Well, they ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. That's black people, man. Like, what you doing? You ain't doing nothing? I got somebody with me then. I don't want to do nothing either. Follow the good things. Go ahead.
God. Be kindly affectionate one toward another.
Read.
With brotherly love.
Read.
And honor. Preferring one another.
Read.
Not slothful of business.
Mm-hmm.
Fervent in spirit.
Read.
Serving the Lord.
Read.
Rejoicing in hope.
Read.
Patient in tribulation.
Right.
Continuing instant in prayer.
Read.
Distributing to the necessity of saints.
Read.
Giving to hospitality.
Calm down, little Matthew. Read 13 again.
Distributing to the necessity of saints.
Read it again.
Distributing the necessity of saints.
That's what we're doing. You see that? We're distributing the necessity of the saints. That's the work. This is what we're doing here. Like I said, I could just take off the rest of the hour to do that. I'm not. But we can go all through the Bible and show the service and the duty from Yahushua calling the 12 apostles. He said, I will make you fishers of men. He didn't say, listen, meet me at the beach every weekend, only from 3 to 7, and then you're going to make it into the kingdom. Because why? You some part-time ass Israelite. It don't work like that. He said, I will make you fishers of men. So we're supposed to be understanding, how do I start being part of that? Being an asset to the nation. So that's it on that. We're going to let the brother, because if not, we're going to just go over another class of questions. We're going to let him take that last hour, and we're going to go into the topic that we've been trying to finish. It ain't going to be finished tonight either. But you can label this topic as relationships. And we've been bringing out certain part of the relationship that the husband, we touch over the woman. And I said relationship because really we're going to be talking on both pendulums. We're going to be talking about how to apply this from a woman's standpoint and how to apply this from a man's, the husband's standpoint. So, where are we at?
So, as you know, the last class we left off on communication. All right, so what we're going to do, we're just going to hit one scripture on communication just to refresh our brain. Because this is one thing, this is one essential attribute that this husband needs, that this brother needs, is to understand how to communicate. Because we're understanding what builds this man.
Right, so we talked about communication. What did we talk about last time?
Communication.
What are we going into now?
Let's get it. Faith.
Faith.
Faith. Give me Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 38.
Right. So before you go there, when we just to refresh on this topic, right? Go to 2 Timothy 2. When we first started on this topic, we were talking about husbands, right? All right. Go to 2 Timothy 2. So the point of this topic was that the husbands on how to be better husbands. Right? So give me that one real quick before we go to 2 Timothy 2. Go to was it 1 Peter's? Go to 1 Peter's real quick. Let's refresh just that, and then we can segue into the point.
1 Peter's.
Dwell with them. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7.
Yeah, go.
1 Peter chapter 3.
I'm so excited. I cannot hide it. I am glad you are lit in the spirit, but you can't.
I love class.
God. Oh, go ahead, read. Where are we at?
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
So, the first aspect of knowledge we talked about, if you missed it, in this class, was about communication. The knowledge that the husband has to have in his brain, must know, is about communication. It's about how he is going to get better at communication to be able to build his wife, strengthen her, break her down. And we've always been going back and forth on this topic because it's very important that it's very important for the man to understand that he's learning these things in his household for what purpose also? Who knows? What purpose also? Because we're going over husband. But what purpose also are you learning this in your house? Jeremiah.
To be able to teach others to do the same.
To do what?
Teach others to do the same.
That you may teach others to do the same. Right?
God.
That go to, and I'll get it, 1 Timothy's, yeah. 3 and what? 1 Timothy 3 and what? 1 Timothy's 3 and 1. And this is the point of us hitting on these topics strategically one by one. Because it can't all be compiled into one class because the things that you need to really learn about the subject. The communication one was good. So we're going to be talking about faith, or this person being faithful. Go ahead. So read that though. This is why you're learning it to be a husband. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
This is a true saying.
Go ahead.
If a man desires the office of a bishop.
Right. See, this is really what it's about. You're here. We just talked about being part of the body. You want to be a bishop, a pastor, a deacon. You want to be an officer, 100, 500,000, whatever label you want to put on it. You want to be a better asset in the body and do more works in the body, right? So you are not going to be able to do it unless you do it at home first.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to do it unless you do it at home first. So this is important. And yeah, we're going to segue into the men and the woman and all that, but this is what this class was about. Go ahead.
He desired a good work.
Because you want to, listen, you getting this knowledge to teach and to raise your people is a good thing. The scriptures say when you convert a sinner, you cover a multitude of sins. So that's the point, right? The point is to get some sins wiped off, to be a better husband, a better teacher for your nation. So yeah, this is on the topic of a husband, but really we're looking at our foresight. We're looking ahead. Because if you got brothers in here that ain't good husbands, then you're not going to be a good teacher. If you don't give a damn about your wife, your kids, right, then how are you going to care for some stranger? You don't even give a care about your loved ones. She throwing the baby to you like, here, I need a break. Yeah, they driving me crazy. You ain't got patience with your kids. The husband is like, that's your job. You the woman. Like, nigga, it's your job to be a daddy too. Stop it. You see that you need this in the body. But if you don't got it, you can't do it with your wife and your kids. You're like, you're sleeping next to her with one eye open. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna do that to some stranger that walk in and you gotta give mercy? And let's start with the points we're talking about. You gotta communicate with them and be seasoned. But at home, you calling your wife home, the B word, the slut word, the garbage, you're fat, you're nothing, you ain't never gonna be nothing. You call her all that, but you're gonna go to the stranger and be like, yeah, brother, peace be upon thee.
God's working.
Godspeed.
He's working with you.
God is, you're gonna be in your mind, yeah, this nigga's garbage. You know what I mean? After a time, you will.
That's how you're gonna start communicating with this man.
So this is applicable in your household first. Go ahead, read.
Verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless.
Right.
The husband of one wife.
Right.
Vigilant.
Right.
Sober.
Right. You see that? So all these attributes, and we're going to touch on all that. I'm just grazing over it because we're going to get to that. But this is what you have to be first. Go ahead.
Of good behavior.
Read.
Given to hospitality.
Yes, Israelites are hospitable. Did y'all know that?
God.
That Israelites have hospitality?
God.
You know what I mean? They're not assholes.
God.
Like brothers think that, oh, because you're an Israelite, you're a jerk. You know what I mean? No, I only can't. Listen, you got brothers teaching that you can only be respectful to people that know the law. The scriptures say, be at peace with all men.
God.
As much as possible. But they teach it like, yeah, no, he don't know the law. He's not my friend. He's not, wait, God. But that don't mean you can't be respectful. If it says agree with thy adversary, damn, if you agree with the enemy, but you see your brother in the street, oh, he ain't my brother. You hear brothers saying that madness. Because why? They don't understand that the Israelites are they have hospitality. Respectful. The white man stole that from you. Read.
Apt to teach. teach.
Right, ready to teach.
Not
You,
giving.
wait, hold on. I'm going to have to hit this part. Apt to teach. You're not apt to teach. Your rib got demons on her. She got problems on her. I don't want y'all counseling my rib. But you won't teach her. And now we got to call you. Your rib keep calling for counsel because you don't want to teach her. Hey, please take some weight off of me. You tell me I don't want you to. I don't want my rib to ask for counsel. I don't want to. You should be handling that anyway. But you're not apt to teach your wife. Are you going to be apt to teach brothers and sisters? They call you at the 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I hate her. I want to kill her. Oh, where's she at right now? I locked her out. Hey, what happened to apt to teach? Husbands dwell with them according to knowledge.
God.
No, husbands dwell with them according to leaving their ass outside the door till she learn her lesson.
According to knowledge.
According to what?
Knowledge.
When she's texting you because she was frustrated, you get frustrated, and you make sure you don't answer none of her calls, none of her texts.
Dwell with them according to knowledge.
No, when she's irritated, you get irritated.
Dwell with them according to knowledge.
What did it say, Ak?
Dwell with them according.
He don't worry about it. Forgive him. What did it say, Ak? Because I pointed to you.
Apt to teach.
Yeah, your mind did it out the side of this mouth. Apt to teach. It says apt to teach, ready. But if you're not ready to teach your loved ones that you would die for, supposedly, you trying to tell me you won't die for your rib. That's a sad thing. If somebody kicks in my door, as a man, I would die for my family. As a man, you die for your family. I'm going to take it. You think I'm going to let them come upstairs and rape my rib? No, nigga. Ain't no tying us up. None of that. You don't kill me all the way through that. Right? Then you don't tie us up. We all get raped. You die, but you can't. But I'll die for her, but you won't teach her and be patient and be like, listen, baby. Woo, you hard. You stress me the hell out, but get your body.
Like I say, it's like you're easy to die for somebody, but not live for somebody.
Yeah, all the time. That's our saying, though. Because Israel, they will. If my nigga, I'll die for you. But would you live with him? Come in the truth with him. And ride with him in patience and love and unity and get through the arguments, through the battles and fights, and still ride or die. So, you see, are y'all seeing that you can't be in the house of the Lord, and if you think, well, it don't say that, we're going to get to that point. But if you're not apt to teach your kids, your wife, your children, you're not apt to communicate them the gospel, how are you going to do it to a stranger? You're not. And that's why a lot of Israelites don't got love for Israelites. Because why? The love is not instilled in them at home. You're a damn tyrant. You're a brute. You're an animal. You're what?
Lion.
You're a lion in the house. And now you're not able to be that spirit of Christ to your family.
That manifold spirit.
Yeah. So apt to teach. I had to stop there. Go ahead.
Not given to one.
Not right. Not like, you know what? Whew. I just finished coming from the camp. What you gonna do? Drink. Cause why? Brothers, every time I make a move, one fish, two fish, the brothers there correcting me. Then you crying to her, you feeding her with weakness, and then you popping a beer and she's looking at you. Well, if you solve your problems like that, then I'm gonna solve my problems like that. I'm gonna call up my uncle, friends, and family. Why? Because I'm looking at you solving your problems like that, going out with strangers, friends of the world, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, but you always around some unbelieving person when you're not around the brother and sister. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do that. Why are you upset at me when you do it? These are the things that we gotta see as men. And then we go to the wine, we go to the liquor. You smoking weed talking about she got to get in order. Nigga, please. Negro, please. The Most High is going to tear your stuff like that. But not given to what?
Not given to one.
Yeah, you know, I don't go home and my kids, they look at me and be like, their dad go again with the beer belly. He popping the brewskis and you see them doing what? They talking to you and you're what? Hold on, the game's on. You Al Bundy now. Right? And you popping a beer and that's the way you get through life. Then what happens when the body, the camp, the brothers, the sisters, the nation has problems? Moses said, listen, go get me men of understanding. He didn't say drunkards. You want to pull that one? Go there. You find it. Go ahead. Read.
Nor striker.
No what?
Striker.
No. Fight with her.
No striker.
Choke her out.
No striker.
No. Throw something at her forehead.
No striker.
You see that? But if you think about it, you know why brothers get it. One thing I always understood in my youth coming up is that we're not niggas. I have never, in the truth, squared up on any brother. Ever. But you know why brothers do that? Because that's what's in them. You come in the truth and you don't hold the truth for the same stature. I've never squared up on a brother, but you got niggas, monkeys that come off the street and they square up on brothers. Well, what you taking something off for? We gonna hit you with the Bible. What the hell? You like stepping back, dropping stuff. Like, what are you doing? This ain't about that. You leave that niggerism out there. Go in the hood and square up on those niggas and see if they square up on you. They ain't gonna square up on you. They're gonna pull out a gun and pop your ass because you a dummy. But you bring that madness. You squaring up with your wife. Y'all scratching each other, beating each other, bruises. Y'all fighting with each other. Why? Because that love is not there. You're not saying to yourself, damn, if I'm squaring up with my loved ones, how easy it is going to be for me when a brother correct me and I don't like it, for me to get in his face and start balling up his hands like nigga, please, stop all that. Israelites, Negroes and Mexicans, y'all be big ass kids. You be grown ass babies. That if you were in the white man military, they break your ass. When you go to jail, they bend you over. Why? Because you're not a man, because you can ball your fists up and beat your rib, or y'all can choke each other out. That's not a man. I had to realize that too. It's not a man. So whoever teaches that, that's stupid. This is madness. That you can beat your rib, you can punch her, she's your flesh. Would you punch your flesh? Would you do like that? Would you walk in the bathroom and beat your own self up? No, you wouldn't. So you got to see that it starts with you. Go ahead.
Not greedy of filthy lucre.
Right. You see? You see how these essential things, filthy lucre means money. So if you at home, the kids need Pampers, but you got the new J's. The kids need Pampers, but you got all the new gear. The lights need to be on, but what? You got the new iPhone 30, right? But you ain't got no lights. Your kids look like bums. What are you going to do when you come in the house of the Lord? You're going to be greedy as hell. You're going to be worried about your pocket rather than the body, the school, the church. You understand that? People don't understand. These things are important. You got to get it down in your house first. Read.
But patient.
But what?
Patient.
No. Lose your damn mind when she loses her mind.
Patient.
No. Go crazy when she go crazy.
Patient.
Yeah, you got to stop it. You got to be patient. I know it get irritating. Yeah, they can be irritating, but rendering evil for evil and railing for railing is not going to solve your issue. The man, you have to be more composed and patient. Y'all missed it earlier, but I was talking about this book on the 10 tribes, because I'm going to go into the Issachar class. But in there, it says that the Gadites, that when they watched them in a circle communicating and talking, there was nobody yelling over anybody. This is what the white man was saying, that there was nobody yelling over anybody or talking over anybody. That they were one speak and the other would speak. They had order amongst each other. They said it wasn't till the white man came. It wasn't till the white man came to where they were arguing and fighting with each other and yelling over each other. They learned that from Esau. You know what I'm saying is that these attributes of the Holy Spirit wasn't bred in us, but taken from us through the world, through the madness, through you growing up in the ghettos and the slums, in slavery and captivity. And you think, oh, I'm a man. You're not a man. Christ wasn't doing that. He wasn't going around arguing with everybody, having to battle everybody, having to fight everybody. He wasn't doing that. They were messing with him. He was a man that was at peace. They were messing with Christ. So these are the attributes. You got to be patient. So you got to listen and hear her out. You got to be ready to solve the problems. Solve the issues. Well, you don't take time to listen. Well, she's talking over you. I'm going to let you finish talking so we won't yell over each other. Then I'm going to talk. Go. And sit there quiet. When she's done, are you done? No, I'm just saying. She's one of those. Okay, keep talking. Sit there and just listen. Show her patience. Then after she get her scattered brain all figured out, then you come in and you say, okay, you ready now to learn. And you teach her. Go ahead.
Not a brawler.
Not a what?
Brawler.
Not a brawler. So you learn now how not to struggle, how not to wrestle each other, how not to scratch each other up, how not to punch each other up. Go ahead.
Not covetous.
Not what?
Covetous.
Covetedness. You got to think about it. You got to have these attributes in your house. It can't all be about you. It's about me. Women and men. It's all about me. It's all about my needs. That's why you don't never see the problem. Because you're always caught up into what you're doing for yourself and not seeing what's going on with her. Go ahead.
One that ruleth well his own house.
You see that? Read.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity.
So we know, and as we go into this topic, the point of faith being applied in the house, it affects the children. You're the example. The man is the example. You set the standard. Even in the middle of chaos, we got to be the ones to set the standard. And it's hard because how we've been raised. How many of us got those old school 70 daddies that what? The only way to get them in order is what? Slap them down. You understand? They believe that. Yeah, get them in order. Smack them down. The only way to get them in order is to have sex with them real hard. Come on now. Don't tell me there ain't been some black parents, black men that told you that. And you thought that was going to fix it. Yeah, I'm going to go break her back. She going to get in line. That's not going to get her in line. It's not. She had too many niggas breaking her back, trying to line it up. That ain't going to fix it. What's going to fix it is the method of the word, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. Which should. We talk about the rebelliousness and a reprobate and on another topic, but this is how to solve the problems.
Right, because a lot of things that we learned is temporary. But like it says dwell with your wives according to knowledge, according to how the scriptures is letting us know how to deal with our families, deal with our wives. Because like the priest was saying, then she can teach the children. This is a beautiful order of things to first understand and then see how it plays out. It's beautiful. Where you at?
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5.
You can drop that.
Yeah.
Give me Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 38. We're going into faith. First, this man have to understand about being faithful, because a lot of our people don't know how to be faithful. Listen, we're not even faithful to our jobs. You don't want to call in, you don't come in, you show up and you want to show up. That's not being faithful. That's doing what you want to do. But we're learning in the scriptures that the Most High is calling us to be faithful to his purpose, not to our purpose, to what he has. So this is our second essential necessary trait that we have to learn.
Faithfulness.
Being faithful.
Right. 2 Timothy 2:2, and then we'll go to Hebrews. Read that. 2 Timothy 2:2.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2.
Come on, read with some power. Come on.
And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses,
right?
The same commit thou to faithful men.
Yeah, faithful men. Because you can't give, listen, what the Most High has given us is power. You can't give it to irresponsible, non-trustful individuals.
Yeah.
It says give to faithful men. Read that again.
God. And the things that thou hast heard of me.
And the things that they have heard is how to get your household in order. How to deal with your wife. How to deal with your children. How to raise your children. How to raise our nation. How to be kings and priests. People want to be like Solomon, but they don't want to go through the things and understandings that Solomon had. The knowledge that he had. Read.
Among many witnesses.
The
same commit thou to faithful men.
Yeah, men that will hold on to the standard. Men that won't be this, I'm bipolar. One day I'm trustworthy. The next day I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
My mind's in array. Read.
God, who shall be able to teach others.
Because that is the purpose. We're here to teach others. It first starts with you. Then it goes down to the wife to the children. Then when the children's over, like I said, now you're able to actually take care of the Most High's household. Why? Because now you're dealing with other wives, other husbands, other children in the situations that they go through. Read.
Who shall be able to teach others also.
Yeah, teach others. This is faithfulness. Give me Hebrews 10 and 38. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 38.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 38.
Come on.
Now the just shall live by faith.
It says the what?
The just shall live by faith.
Yeah, the just shall live by faith. We don't live by this world. We don't live by what our this world has given us. For example, like a lot of things that we believe in is these. They're not. The word I'm trying to find is the knowledge gives you things that gives you the knowledge to where it endures. The world gives you these things that are temporary. There it is. They give you these temporary things to suffice your feelings.
Right, for the moment.
Right.
Yeah, to where you remember this is a man in a relationship. How is he going to be trustworthy? How is he going to be committed? You understand? You just said it. Everybody want to be Solomon and have 1,000 wives, but Paul is trying to show you, but you don't know how to take care of one wife. You don't know how to be faithful to one woman. So, but you're over here looking for all these other women instead of saying, you know what? Let me learn how to teach one woman. So you're in this unfaithful mind, faithful to your rib. Faithful to the job you're supposed to get done. That's why I say you got, listen, and I'm going to say it. You got brothers that will leave this camp, right? Because they are not committed. And they don't want to do the service in office. But what's the first thing they'll damn do when they go out there? They go get another woman. It's like, wait a minute, you didn't want to be committed to the work, to the duty, to the office, but you'll be committed to 2 women? Ah, I get it. That's your game. You want to use the Bible for gain. You want to use the Bible for, you know what? I can slick and slide and tell a woman to get in order, but your ass won't get in order. There's no... That's why the Most High said you had to be faithful. This is a problem with Israel, man. And that's why we put it in on blast, because Israel is quick to talk about a wicked woman. We'll throw a wicked woman right up under the bus. But what about you wicked niggas, man, that are selfish, that are greedy? You would sit here in the middle of class, do wicked stuff behind our back that we don't know about, and lie to us to our face. That's why the Most High destroys y'all. So yeah, we're gonna get on the wicked women they're counted as spittle. But some of you niggas are garbage too.
Who taught them that wickedness?
Right. Who taught them? The scripture said a wicked woman is given to a wicked man. You really want to know why is there a reign, captivity, and torment in your house? Because, nigga, you're wicked. You're wicked as hell. And you don't want to commit to nothing. But what? Drinking, Facebook, Instagram. You're a grown-ass baby boy. But you want respect. She's telling you, I don't respect you. Why? Because you're a big damn kid. And this is the problem with a lot of brothers, that if you were faithful to something, instead of being the toss to and fro guy, one minute she sees you, she's like, yeah, he is a diligent Israelite. You got brothers that come through there, you got ribs in the truth that husbands left. But then the brothers at home trying to put scriptures on them. Like, you gonna be in order. You gonna, like, man, wait till the Most High get your ass. Oh, I can't wait. Why? Because it's hypocritical. You're using the Bible for your benefit. And this is what the scriptures is talking about, being faithful, man. Faithful men is faithful to righteousness. You're righteous. I know when I'm wrong. And I know what I'm doing wrong. And if not, somebody corrects me, then I got to submit to that being wrong. But you got a lot of corrupt Negroes, Israelites, that won't submit to when they're wrong, when they're off, when they're doing wrong, they're treating their rib wrong. They ain't there for their kids. They ain't there for their household. And it's a problem. So that's why we're talking about these topics, because a lot of brothers need to understand, a lot of sisters need to understand about being better husbands and how to do that so you can be better examples, so the wives can step up. The reason why I can step to my ribs and tell them, nah, I'm not putting up with that, is because I'm the standard. They don't see me coming home drinking and losing my mind. They don't see me losing my mind over every little thing, so I expect them to be the standard. They don't see me double-minded. One week I'm a Muslim, one week I believe, next minute I roll over and cry to them, I can't do this no more. One minute you an Israelite, next minute you not. You come in with your garments on, next minute you some. It's weak. It's weakness. And hypocritical, man. So it has to stop. Go ahead.
All right, finish that.
But if any man draw back.
See, the Most High is letting us know that he wants a faithful man. And it's saying if any man or woman draws back, read.
My soul shall have no pleasure in him.
And the Most High is about faithful individuals. Those that will not turn their back from him. He gives them riches. He gives them the wisdom. He gives them the knowledge. What are you going to do with it? Now you're finna go over here and sell dope with this knowledge. Yeah. Now you're finna go over here and use this for wickedness.
This brother just showed me somebody on Facebook. This guy came to class for like 3 weeks, and you already starting a camp. Oh yeah. Why? Because there's no loyalty. It ain't about the word. It ain't about the truth. Right. But that's what it is. That's how it is. You got knowledge, but that's why the houses are in array. That's why the children are in array. That's why the kids are out of order. That's why your wife is bouncing from man to man. Because the husbands have to get it in line. We have to be the ones level-headed and faithful to the Most High. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Give me Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 9. I want to throw this in there. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 9, because we're understanding that there's certain essential things that we need, certain essential elements that this brother or sister needs. One is being faithful, but we're understanding that the Most High is requiring this. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 9. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely.
Yeah, so he that walketh faithfully, uprightly, he that continues in the way that the Most High has ordered him and has showed him, it says that he walketh surely, because he understands he's not doing nothing wrong. But read that.
But he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
Yeah, he that perverteth his ways. It's the same thing going back to Hebrews when it says, if any man draw back. When you go to the definition of pervert, check this out. Pervert It says, read that again.
He that walketh uprightly walketh surely. But he that perverteth.
So he that perverteth, it says to turn from truth. When you start being unfaithful and going back to the beggarly elements, start going back to your vomit, it says you pervert your ways, but what does it say?
His ways shall be known.
Yeah, your ways shall be known. Let's go back to this word pervert. It says to turn from the truth. It says from its proper purpose. You're not faithful. You are a disloyal employee. You are a disgruntled employee of the Most High because the Most High owns us. We are His. I don't care if you want to, it's either you're going to go the easy way or the hard way. The Most High said He requires faithfulness. It says, we're going back to the word pervert. Y'all got to write this down. It says to pervert reason by misdirecting. To pervert the laws by interpreting and misapplying them. You're misapplying the ways of the Most High, which puts you in that attribute or puts you in that box of being unfaithful. That's why we have to understand how to be faithful, how to endure hardness like a good soldier. This is one of the most important things, being faithful. All right? With that, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 2. Being faithful. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 2. This is necessary for us to grow as a nation. This is necessary for the men to grow, the shepherds, the bishops, the chiefs of all these tribes and our families. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 2. Moreover, it is required.
Hold on. It's what?
It is required.
Nah, this is just a suggestion.
Required.
Nah, this is just, if you might want to do it.
It is required.
You don't really got to do it.
It is required.
It says it's required. Read.
And stewards.
And stewards, these are men of the Most High. These are husbands. These are brothers. These are men. Stewards. Because we're stewards to this work. We're stewards to this wisdom. Read.
That a man be found faithful.
That be found what?
Faithful.
Nah, double-minded.
Faithful.
Twiddle toes.
Faithful.
Oh, man, I feel bad today, but then I feel good tomorrow.
Faithful.
No, you got to be faithful, 100% consistent. And that's another element we're going to get. It's about being consistent. But it says that this steward is required to be faithful. Come on, man. We got to understand that there's things that the Most High requires. We don't know. Listen, we never grew up with consistency and faithfulness, man. Who could we really trust on? Could you trust on your parents? They were probably was fighting all the time. Bipolar. Never gave you straight judgment. You got your older sister that you probably really couldn't trust. Out there smoking, stripping, whatever circumstances that they were in. Your teachers, they know how to be faithful. They know how to deal with their emotions, but not about being faithful. Read that again.
God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful.
I want somebody to look up the word steward. Look up the word steward. But it said it's required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Listen, who doesn't want a faithful relationship? By the raising hand, who wants a faithful relationship? Come on. So why are we faithful to the Most High? Why are we not faithful to the things that He is telling us that we're required to be faithful to? Why do we get to choose? Christ didn't get to choose. Christ had to be faithful and take the nails in His hands and His feet. Spit in the face, cuss that. The disciples and prophets had to be faithful to their end. The way that they died, all the turmoil. Isaiah walked around butt naked. He had to be faithful and walking around butt naked for 3 years. Ezekiel had to eat boo-boo. That's what dung is. Human feces, not animal. Was it animal or human? Animal.
He first told them human.
Right.
And then he said, man, nothing is defiled has entered my mouth. So he said, okay, do cow doo-doo.
Right. He was still faithful with that.
Yeah.
The Most High is like, listen, I just step down. But still, He was faithful in that. Think about it. But why aren't we faithful in the things that we have that work our job? Listen, if you got to do copies for the school, why can't you have copies for the school every month? In your mind, you got on your calendar, I got to do copies this day, so brothers have copies for when they pass out flyers or whatever else it may be. Cleaning supplies, Listen, if you want to give a couple dollars, be faithful in that. The Most High is showing us that we have to learn to be faithful for us to even have bigger things. Y'all understand?
God, steward.
Read that.
Steward is the steward was originally a chamberlain or a butler.
Okay.
A man employed.
So a butler is a man that obviously is taking orders. So let's go back to it. Moreover, it is required for a butler, a man that takes orders. Read. Keep going.
A man employed in great families to manage the domestic corners.
See, we're the most greatest family on earth. We are the only family that the Most High knows.
I'm sorry, domestic concerns.
Right. I still like that. The belonging to a family. What did it say?
It says a man employed in great families to manage the domestic concerns.
Great families, man. These individuals are employed for the Most High to deal with the most precious royalty or royalist family on earth. We have to be faithful. Go ahead.
That brings to the scripture that a man that can't take care of his house can't take care of the household of the Most High.
Come on.
Because ultimately, that's what we're rehearsing.
Right.
Because when we're rehearsing the righteous acts, why? Because the household of the Lord has to be kept. So if you can't micromanage and manage your rib on a small, minute scale, how much more the things pertaining to the Most High?
Right.
He's not gonna let you mess that up. So you got your rib as your pupil. You got your children as your.
But it is though. That's why you got all this chaos. That's why you got all this madness out there. Is because brothers they wanna. It's about power. It's about a man having more than one wife. It's about I want to be seen of men. Because the crap that's being done is because brothers won't work on themselves. We got to start with us. We got to work on ourselves. Yeah.
So in that aspect, so basically what you're displaying, what you're giving off is all introvert. It all originated from what you feel inside.
It's all you.
Like you're yelling at your rib, you're taking things out on your rib because you don't know how to deal with your emotions.
A lot of times, man, it's just because that's the way we were raised to solve issues. We were programmed to solve problems. You know what I mean? There's a lot of brothers that their fathers was like, listen, how you get them in order is smack them. And brothers do that. There's a lot of brothers that, like I said, about the sex thing. Oh, that's how you got to get them in order. They think that solves the problem. A lot of brothers are told certain things. You were told certain things by your father, by your uncle, by the ex-pimp, and that's how you do it. You solve issues like you were dealt with. Now, if your mama raised you, she did her best trying to raise you, right? But a lot of times you be having that scattered brain, scattered mind, emotional mentality on you, and that's how now you solve issues. So, this point we're talking about, a man is faith because he has to learn loyalty to the Most High. If he's going to learn loyalty, he has to learn loyalty to his family if he's going to learn loyalty to the Most High. And that's what the point of being faithful is about. You got to be loyal to your family. Or how are you going to be loyal to the house of the Lord? Y'all see this?
God.
Akim?
God.
Go ahead. Give me Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. It's like a let's go on movie wise, like the Mafia, Godfather. They had loyal individuals. That's the only way you moved up. You had to be loyal. You had to be trustworthy. But they had to go through the things. They had to go through the situations to learn. Listen, I'm rather than going back to how I used to do things, I'm gonna continue in this path. Be faithful, be loyal, see what it pans out to be. Because I know this is the route. This is the route I want to go on. It's gonna make me this individual.
We have to understand the Bible literally walks us through every situation, and every problem we have, there's a solution.
The Bible is, you know what I like?
It's a solution for it.
I thought about it today. Let's break it down. Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. Look up practical.
Yeah.
Look up practical in the 1828.
And that's why the original school was named that.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Is that because it was practical.
Right.
It was able to be used. and apply to your everyday life.
Right. Actually, I got it.
Go ahead.
It says right here. There's a part that I want. Bam. That reduces, theories to actual use. You're taking what you're learning and actually using it. Come on.
Take it off.
Yeah.
It says this right here. It says that may be applied to use. That it may be used in practice, practical. Like the priest was saying, the Bible gives you all different routes, avenues, different ways to
solve your issues.
Come on.
To solve your problems. See, and that's why a lot of your household problems persist,
right,
because you're not faithful to the law, the wisdom, the word of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
You're not faithful to it, so you can't solve your issues at home. Think about the things you deal with. Think about the arguments you get with. Give me one argument you get at home recently. You had one argument. Somebody, raise your hand. You ain't even got no wife, man. You can't even change it.
That's why I can't raise my hand.
No. Manatazak raised his hand. Like he have a wife at home. So he's like, my mama. No, seriously, anybody? One problem that y'all recently went through. Don't be shy. I know y'all don't want to do that. I don't want to put my business out there. Okay, how about your friend? The problem that your friend had. What? What?
What's the word I'm looking for?
You trying to butter it up.
Well, no, okay. Well,
you trying to butter it up, bro. Just say it.
Well, would they take the, it goes into like...
You trying to teach, man. You trying to teach. I don't want you to teach right now. I'm asking you, what a problem that was at home, a situation. Yeah. Jealousy. Now, then the Bible go through jealousy and how to deal with it. Right? Correction. The Bible goes through it, how to correct. Now it's all how you apply it. Right? Because you got this jealous woman or jealous man. Well, in this case, this is a men's class. So you got the jealous woman. And she's moving off of jealousy. How do you get her to not to be jealous? Well, the first thing you got to say is, well, she's erratic. She won't even listen to me. Now you got to calm her down. We got another problem. Why is she so erratic? We can't even get a conversation going. So now you got back to communication. We went over last week, the week before. Right?
God.
That's another, scriptures go through that. We can keep going and counting how many problems and everything, the solution, the scriptures, a way to do it. The problem is that you have to study to show yourself approved. So you won't be ashamed when you get involved with that problem. It's there, you just don't have it in your mind. So your first action is what? What you already know to do. Right? And that's the point of these classes, is to get brothers off of what they know and start showing them that you want peace in your household, right? You have to do what? Go to Ecclesiastes 32:7. This is our favorite scripture. Go to Ecclesiastes 32:7, right? See if it has it been imprinted. Ecclesiastes 32. No.
27.
37:3. No.
27:3.
27:3.
God.
27.
God.
And 3. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 27 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
God, unless a man hold himself diligently.
Unless he what?
Hold himself diligently.
Go ahead.
In the fear of the Lord.
So, how am I going to solve and teach my wife and dwell with her according to knowledge?
Hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord.
You got to be diligent to hold these scriptures in your mind and to have the fear of the Lord because it be an erratic situation and you got to handle it with knowledge and understanding. All the emotions perking up, and you got to be a man of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. In the fear of the Most High. So what has to happen when you guys are finna get into this commotion or argument or disagreement? What has to happen? He has to be what? What point are we on tonight?
Faithful.
Faithful.
He had to be faithful in the fear of the Lord. He has to be a believer and not abandon ship every time something happens. You abandon ship, she's going to see, well, he's not faithful. I'm not going to be faithful. You're not resorting back to the Bible. I'm not resorting back to the Bible. You have to be faithful in the fear of the Lord, and then she will be faithful in the fear of the Lord. Or, listen, I know what you're saying. Well, how about if I am faithful and she's not? Then he'll move her out the way. You don't have to do nothing sporadic, choking, fighting, arguing, do that. The Most High will move that woman out. And he will bring you a right woman. But he will do it. Not the choking, fighting, you're garbage, you ain't nothing, you ain't crap, you fat, you're ugly, you got cheese on your thighs. Look at those roles. Like, if you don't want me, don't be with me then. You ain't nothing. I'll have Tanisha, Shaniqua, Shanae. They'll come over, they'll cook, they'll clean. Like, you don't have to do all that. Especially whoever if you got somebody named Shanae, there's a problem. I'm just kidding. But that's the problem, is that you're not holding diligently. Go ahead.
God, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord,
go ahead,
his house shall soon be overthrown.
And that's what we're trying to prevent. We're trying to prevent the chaotic households. But it starts with the man and the woman being able to have their mind together to teach the children. It says that the law be put on the door of your house, on the post. What's on your post? You walk out, there's a damn blunt right there on the post of your house. You walk out, there's what? What's on the post of your house? What's at the forefront of your house when you come in? I don't want to be here. That's what's surrounding it. I don't want to be here. Right? That's what's on the post of your house? Then that's the spirit you're going to kick to the kids. I'm not happy with my living. So then when you go in and you teach the kids, what are they going to hear? I'm not happy with this. I'm angry and I resent her. My eye is evil towards her, and her eye is evil towards me. And we're going to either kill each other or die trying. Right? And then what are the kids seeing? Mom and dad was chaotic and was destroyed for lack of knowledge. So I'm going to be destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because they rejected knowledge, then I'm rejected. Y'all see this? And that's what we're trying to prevent. Because, man, it's enough of this chaos in the homes out there, man, in the communities, in our neighborhoods. You know why there's chaos? Because nobody's damn humble. And they won't put this first. They want to put everything else except this first. Y'all come in here and then you act like what? It's not applicable to my situation. How do I do that? Easily. Shut the hell up, sit down, get your Bible, and y'all agree what the scripture says instead of what your emotion is saying. I like to ask this. Is your way solving the problem? Just ask yourself that. Is your way solving the problem? If it's solving the problem, why are you chaotic? Why is your mind in array? Why are you emotional? Why you want to kill yourself and not live life anymore? Because it's not handling the problem. Come on, where you at?
You said Luke chapter...
Yeah. Give me Ecclesiastes. Give me Luke chapter. Yeah, go ahead.
Luke chapter 6 and verse 10.
Right.
He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much.
See, you got to be faithful in the small things first. Everybody wants to go to these extreme measures of, listen, I hold down a can myself. I do class. I do street speaking. No, listen. How about you make it to class? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Saturday. Listen.
Well, on the topic, how about you spend time with your rib when you don't have time?
Right.
And you talk to her and communicate with her, get in her mind, prick her brain. Because you being an Israelite, man, you got little time. Why? Because you are busy doing the work of the Most High. You are busy doing things that keep you busy in the knowledge. So the little time that you thought you had, listen, if you didn't want time, you shouldn't have got a rib. If you wanted time, if you wanted to be a bachelor, you shouldn't have got a rib. Then you should have pumped babies in her. Your time is over. When those kids running up to you, Dad, you can't be like, it's my time. Baby, I need you. It's not your time no more. It's her time. Why? Because she's the weaker vessel and she needs you. So you got to be able to do what? Put everything on your shoulder and set thy house in order. But you got to be stable as hell. You can't be an emotional white woman with blonde hair. Every whimp of emotion and feeling, shit's crazy. She's out of order. Like, that's how brothers look. It's like, what the hell's your problem? You got all the wisdom of the universe, the power of the universe right in your hand, but you're getting just like her. Calm the hell down and use the Bible. Set her in order. The scriptures say the word like a sword, dividing from soul and spirit to the marrow of the bones, right?
John.
You know.
You don't have to say a lot. When I stop talking and I just like start hitting with scriptures, that's when I get the con, sir. All the argument stops. But when I'm going back and forth trying to, you know what you got to do in the moment. I'm like, I stop all that. I'm like, listen, scripture, pop, 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 pop. Then it's like, con what? Con, I see it. I see what the scriptures say. Why? Because the word itself, it cuts and it hurts more than any bad word, any you got cheese on your thighs, any chokes.
They can argue with you, but they can't argue
with you. They can't argue with the Most High.
They gotta be true and never met a lie.
There it is.
God.
So this is what we're trying to do, show brothers and sisters how to solve their issues so it can be, relationships can last a little longer. They can last like our old forefathers, 50, 60 years. You know, and your kids can see kids, and generations go forth. That's power. But you don't see that, man. You don't see that with black households and families. Why? It sounds so basic, right? But when you get in these situations, how quick do you go right back to Hosea 4 and 6? All that color, all the greatness, all the fringes, all the beards, all the head covers, and then you go right back to the belligerent nigga that you was before you got the truth. You're not going to fix things like that. Y'all get that? Con?
Go ahead. Give me Ecclesiastes 44 and 20. Ecclesiastes chapter 44 and verse 20. Because we're trying to have this instilled in us. Like the priest was saying, so that we can continue like our forefathers and be prosperous. Our children can be prosperous. But it first starts with us. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 44 and verse 20.
You start at 19.
Good. Verse 19. Abraham was a great father of many people.
Read.
In glory was there none like unto him.
Yeah, it said Abraham was a great father of many people. He led people. He taught them. Read.
Who kept the law of the Most High.
He kept the laws and statutes. These practical instructions in his Bible he held on to. Read.
And was in covenant with him.
Yeah, he was in covenant with Abraham. Read.
He established the covenant in his flesh.
Yeah, he established the covenant in his flesh, man. And his people. But think about it. Let's go a little bit deeper though too. If you want to take it this route. The laws, listen, it was in his body. He understood it. He lived by it. He knew how to deal with his wife, how to communicate, how to long suffer. She had an issue, listen, he knew how to handle it. If his sons had an issue, he knew how to handle it. If you, the people around him, his servants, because he had servants, slaves, he knew how to handle it. Read.
And when he was proved.
Yeah, because he had the laws and statutes. He had these instructions. He understood how to handle his situations. Listen, when somebody's mind was chaotic, depressed, emotional, you got problems at the job. They out there at the mill, arguing at the mill. Listen, you shouldn't argue with her at the mill then. You should have just came on home with the water, let her, listen, conscious, come right on back. You didn't have to sit there and argue with her. Damn near almost choked her out and threw her down the well. No, come right on home. Abraham had this knowledge. Read.
He was found faithful.
Yeah, when he was proved, he was found faithful because he had to go through these situations. He had to go through these altercations with his family to understand how to deal with them. But with that, with those, and it's funny because it says he was proved, but everything that we go through in this truth is a trial, man. It's a trial. And the Most High is seeing, okay, listen, you got this knowledge. You got these Bible scriptures. You was at home last night reading Proverbs, had Proverbs audio Bible. It was talking about the just live by faith. Did you live by faith? Did you live by what he told you to do? Or did you revert back to the old man? It said Abraham was proved and he was found faithful. He was tried and he was found faithful to attain and to continue in the laws and statutes that the Most High gave him. The wisdom, the knowledge. Because that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to pass these tests. We're not trying to continue failing and failing. We're trying to progress so that you yourself knows, but you can teach your wife, teach your children how to progress, how to be proved, how to be found faithful and pleasing in the Most High's eyes. You understand?
God.
Give me James chapter 1 and verse 2. James chapter 1 and verse 2.
James chapter 1 and verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations.
Come on, man. We're going to go through it. We're going to go through these problems with our wives. But the Most High has given us his faithful word to stay faithful to. Listen, Ak, if you do it this way, if you deal with her according to knowledge, you just sit down and communicate. If you are faithful in the little of just communicating with her, ask her what's the problem. And be quiet and let her spill her beans. Listen, you'll understand how to solve the problem. But a lot of times we don't even do that. Where we let them talk, communicate. That's the smallest thing. All you do is got to be quiet. You ain't got to do nothing but listen. And apply what you learned in this Bible, what the Most High gave you as a man, the understanding of this Bible, to give to her. But read that again.
My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations.
Read.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Yeah, the trying of your faith worketh patience. So the things that we go through is trying your faith, but it worketh patience. Because what can you do? You can go back to the old you. Well, man, let me go ahead and just roll up this blunt. She's over here arguing and screaming in the house again. Let me get some of this doty. Nah. Be patient. Get into this Bible. What do you got to say?
The way it's worded, because it says the trial of your faith. It says your faith worketh patience, right?
Right.
And your faith is basically your confidence. So to see if you're really confident in what you believe in and what you study, then you have to be tried for that.
Come on.
Because
no, keep going. That's real, because that's what Abraham was proved in the things that he knew. And it's the same thing with there's levels, like I said. You may want to fight what is that? Bruce Leroy.
Right.
He had to start at the bottom of the stairs. But he was trying to get what? Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Who?
Bruce Lee.
Oh, Bruce Lee. That one Bruce Leroy? Is the dragon? Bruce Lee. But still, he had to get tried in the things in his skill that he had. Right? But he had to actually use it. He had to apply it.
But he had to have confidence in it too.
Yeah.
You can't revert to the weak and beggarly elements of being a nigger, or being a lion, or being a beast, into dealing with the situation.
A lot of times, brothers, I keep saying it, you think it's not applicable. You're like look at the scriptures he's going over, right? A lot of people don't apply that to their relationship. They're like, they get in these classes like faithful to the Most High, faithful to the office, but you're tried in every aspect of your life. So you're trying to tell me the most important thing in your house, that this is not applicable? It is. It's just that we don't think We're not that skillful to say, dang, this is a trial. Satan walketh around as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. So he's walking in my house now. Why? Because God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So confusion is going at my house. So Satan got in what way? What way? Let me sit back and think. Is he coming through me? Or is he coming through her? Ah, okay, he's coming through both of us. Why? Because God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So if I'm loud and I'm screaming and I'm chaotic and I'm double-minded and I'm unsure and I'm losing my mind and she's losing her mind, we're both losing our mind, there Satan is. But people don't do that. They don't put the scriptures and apply them to their life. They just apply them to this fictitious reign or whatever. Like church. It's supposed to work in your life.
Yeah, because we're not robots. We're individuals that need to apply the Bible. We need to sit, like the priest was saying, sit back and actually look and analyze the situation. I want you to let that go. Give me go back to Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. I'll show you something. Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. Because we are not ordinary individuals. That's why our lives are hectic, because we continue to try to go back to the old us. We continue to go back to what our enemies have given us as knowledge, but it's garbage. It's rubbish. That's why our people are in a destitute state that they're in, because they're not using this true knowledge. Go back to that. Luke 16 and verse 10.
God, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much.
Come on. You understand that? Him that is faithful in the least will be faithful in much. Read.
And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also.
See, the most... Yes. The Most High knows. The Most High understands. Yeah, the Most High understands that that, you know, he's giving you these trials, and if you can't even be found faithful to communicate with your rib, till when you see her emotional in the house,
the least thing.
Come on, listen. You get mad about taking out trash, doing maybe just a little bit of part of the household, helping your rib out. Listen, you got kids, you got dogs, you got food, you got all these different things that you know is in the household that you can help at, but you don't want to do that. The Most High says if you're unjust in the little, you're gonna be unjust in the major.
Yeah, I was gonna do a T-shirt that says,
we can do it.
You can't make it in life, just kill yourself.
Right. Don't worry.
Like, you're bad at this.
Die. Sad.
It's just like that. Like, why? Because Israel, it's like, we don't have to live this chaotic. You don't have to. You don't have to live with all this confusion and turmoil. You don't have to. It's just that we choose to. He said you choose death. And that's what came. Death comes unto us in every aspect of our life, man, to where you're miserable in living. And the only way it's going to get right is getting back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and saying, you know what? What the Most High is peace. What the Most High is comfort. What the Most High is ease. You understand?
Done.
That's the real act, and that's when I get a little commotion in my house, I look around and I say, where is Satan trying to get in at? He's trying to make this uncomfortable. He's trying to make me go into my rib. He's trying to get her in emotions. So you got to be on top of it right then and there, man, and see what's happening in your house. That way you can be sharper and be able to get Satan's devices and darts out of the way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like Constantine. Constantine was walking on the street, saw them shadows and little demons. Same thing. Oh, hold up. That ain't right. That don't look good. It's the same thing we should be doing. We should analyze our situation. But I want you to continue reading.
Verse 11.
Yes.
If therefore you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon.
Right. If you ain't been faithful in the unrighteous mammon and the basic mean things of this world, read.
Who will commit to your trust the true riches?
Come on, everybody wants to get to this esteemed place of ownership, of rulership, you know, all that. But if you can't even communicate, if you can't even be found faithful in, listen, just reading your Bible, leading your family about, having a prayer at least once a week. Shoot, turn to the east once a week. If you can't be faithful in that, how is the Most High going to entrust you in true riches? It don't work like that. It don't even work like that in the world. Esau know that. That's why, listen, when y'all can't come to work on time, Esau like, nigga, you're gone. You ain't going to be here. And now think much more with the Most High, the Creator, the man of war, the man that will take life, that has demons spirits at call. Think about it. If you can't be found faithful in the small, how can he give you much more? You got to keep that in your mind. How can the things that you want, all the things that we want in our relationship, right? Yeah. I want us to be nice. I want us to be real. I want us to know each other. I want us to be cool and best friends forever. Cool. Well, be faithful in communicating. Be faithful in telling your spouse how you feel. Husbands, listen. Be faithful in just understanding the spirit of your household, man. Understanding what's leading your household. Is it me? Is it my mother, my father?
Right.
Is it my wife? Is she leading the household? Who's leading it? You got to be faithful in taking care of that. Yes.
And you know, sometimes I'm thinking where that start at is you got to give yourself to know that individual. The same way we give ourselves to know a brother and love that brother and want to grow and cultivate that brother.
Right.
We got to do that much more with our ribs.
And that's why the next group of scriptures for next time is going to be going into patience. Because faith worketh patience.
God.
Because patience, everybody thinks that you're going to be a weekend ninja in 2 days. No. Your rib going to be a Proverbs 31 virtuous woman, quick. She can flip pancakes, sew fringes, and take care of the babies at the same time. No, it don't work like that. Nope. Is it possible? And listen, all things is possible through the Christ who strengthens me, right?
God.
But we're just saying. But patience is necessary as well. You know, so keep that in mind. I hope you wrote down those scriptures on being faithful. Men understanding that it is required. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 2 said it's required for stewards to be faithful.
Right.
So if you want your spouse, your household, those around you to be faithful, you must first learn how to be faithful yourself.
God.
Right?
God. Did anybody have any questions on that? On the topic? Tomorrow we'll be going over, of course, questions again if we missed them. I know a lot of y'all on there probably still had other questions before we started class. We'll hit them tomorrow for Sabbath morning class. Did anybody have any questions on that topic? Anybody wanted to speak on the topic? Say anything about it? I'm not stop. What?
But yeah, I was talking about earlier, like how some men say they don't want to die for their wife, and some people be like, "Oh, that's not in the scripture." But we understand, like Ephesians, when they talk about that the man should love his wife even as Christ loved the church.
Right.
But what did he do for us? Because we
died.
are the church. He died for us. You know,
exactly.
He laid his life down for us. So.
No, you hit it right. Very true.
I don't know if somebody said that online that he don't, but I know you were saying that.
No, I was speaking from the context of, you know, if you wouldn't give your life for your rib, right, you know, then you're definitely not going to give it for no stranger. Right. You know, so like Christ. So, but yeah, right along the same line, the point still stands. What you're making is that brothers got to be there for their rib, like Yahushua did the church. But that don't mean, you know, outside the window with flowers and, you know what I mean, you making the bed for a bed of roses, and it means with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, patience, kindness, long suffering, all these things that's needed to get her where she's needed. You know, so yeah, that's right on point. What else? We got anything on there? Okay, yeah, they had some funny questions earlier. Somebody was being funny in there earlier, but
I had one more too. 'Cause I was listening to y'all earlier. I had the ball shop listen to the class.
Okay.
But when you were talking about the one who will come last and the one who will first, like how they still get the same penny of reward.
Right.
Why do you say that the one who might get it at the end why he may not be one of the ones that be of the government body?
Because there's an order of it. You know, everybody gets the same reward, which is the kingdom.
Correct.
But the persons that, let's use the apostles, the 12 apostles, everybody's not going to get what the 12 apostles got. There's not going to be, he said 12 thrones. He didn't say 13. He didn't say 14. He said the 12 apostles was going to sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So you got a standard, a structure, that he's going to set up. Then you got under that, the 144,000. Is everybody part of the 144,000? So then you got under that what? The 1/3. So the 1/3 is going to be under the 144,000.
Right. But the point I was making, like, the one who wake up in the end, because, we all at the mercy and grace of the Most High. So that one that might come in the end,
he's going to get the grace.
He may be one that was chosen by the Most High to be one of the rulers. That's what I'm saying, because we all got the same reward. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, when you put it in that sense, yes. But that's not what I was talking about, though. When you put it in that sense, like, because we don't know. We don't know who is what and who is where. I was saying from the sense of Matthew's, when Christ said those were given a penny at the beginning and a penny at the end of the day. And I was relaying that to the structure. Right? Yeah, I don't know who's 144,000. I don't know who the 12 apostles is. Well, I was speaking from that context of their still structure.
Right. Because even in that one, like, the ones who came, they probably worked 15 hours that day. Yeah, some came in the middle of the day. You had some come maybe the last 15 minutes or the same hour, but they all still got the same pay.
They still, the same reward is the kingdom. Right. That doesn't mean you get to take the slot of the 12 apostles. Now, when it tells you those that follow Christ, wheresoever he went, these were dressed in white robes. There's a certain elect that is going to get higher blessings than people that just barely get the knowledge. It ain't going to work like you didn't do nothing. The scripture says they came through much tribulation, right? So then, who are these that came through much tribulation? What about the ones that don't come through much tribulation? They gonna get the same reward?
Well, I'm asking you this, when they say the much tribulation, right?
Yeah.
That's the ones who are gonna have to, endure the beheading and the different things that the scripture talk about, being in prison, things
right.
of that nature.
But that's not everybody.
Right. But the reason I had asked that from the jump, because when we read through the scriptures, like when we do our precepts, and they say Israel is mine elect. You see what I'm saying? So the elect 44,000, because we know the elect period all coming from Israel.
Oh yeah.
Right, because he says elect are Israel. So we don't know who that 144,000 is. Only the Most High knows.
No, I'm not. There's no disagreeing with that. We don't know who the elect is, but we know this: that the elect, they were going to go through what Christ said they were going to go through. They weren't just going to be the guy that comes in and not go through nothing. We do know that because the apostle said, we have given up all. So, and we went through everything that he said they were going to go through, right? Houses, cars, we've given up all these things. Well, some people, think about it, somebody that comes in at the end, they didn't have to really give up nothing. They get the slot of the apostles. It don't work like that. Why? Let me finish. It don't work like that because he set the standard of what they had to go through. They had to go through giving up and losing. They're going to get the kingdom, no doubt. I'm not talking about that. Yeah, I'm talking about the order, the sitting up there with Yahweh Shai. Everybody ain't going to get that. Everybody don't just get to sit up there and, Yeah, the average Joe Smo get up there and sit there and judge like he said the apostles would. Why do they get to judge?
Because they walk with it, they know how to walk.
Okay, let's go back to the scripture. Because we've given up all, right? He said, no man had given up all. He said, in the kingdom, right? In this time, you're gonna reap, you're gonna benefit, right? So, how many of us are gonna go through this trials and tribulation?
Not everybody gonna do it, because we see that every day.
Right, but how many, according to the scriptures? 144,000. Why didn't he say was going to be 144,000 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel?
Right.
Because there's a structure.
And then my other question was, since Judas we know was the betrayer or whatever who betrayed Christ.
Right.
Who's gonna build that 12th throne?
Whoever the apostles are. I'm not putting no name to them.
Right.
We don't know who they are now.
Right.
I'm just putting the standard he said. I'm talking about the standard, and then we know it was 12.
Right.
But I don't know. We know the apostle that took his place, right? Yeah, go to Acts, because there was an apostle. Remember they cast lots for him, right? To take his place. So is that what you were looking for?
No, I was just,
You're just saying in general, like.
I always be looking for scripture to be given to me like y'all do, and I go back and examine.
Oh, let's go there then. Go to Acts. Go to Acts. It should be like the first chapter. Go to Acts.
Acts chapter 1, verse 26.
Acts 1 and 26. Go ahead.
And they gave forth their lot, and the lot.
No. 23.
God. Acts chapter 1, verse 23.
Right.
And they appointed two, Joseph called Barsabas, who was surnamed Justus, and Martius,
and Mattathias.
And they prayed and said, Thou Lord, which knowest the hearts of all men, show whether of these two has chosen,
right,
that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship,
right,
from which Judas by transgression fell.
So it came down to those two brothers, right? Go ahead.
That he might go to his own place. And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon
Matthias, yeah.
And he was numbered with the 11 apostles.
So, yeah. All right. Anything else, y'all? Brothers, sisters, nothing? All right. Anything online pertaining class? I'm going to say it again for somebody when we asked them for the alms the other day. We appreciate that. I forgot the name on there. And we ask all you brothers and sisters that, I'm going to say it again, that do tune in to us and that do want to help out with the alms or whatever. We appreciate it because it does help out the school. But I wanted to thank the brother that did donate and give those alms. All right. Just waiting to see if anybody got any last questions. Nah? Okay. All right, let's salute them. Everybody say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. We'll see y'all in the morning, 10 o'clock, for Shabbat morning class. All right. And while she's doing that, everybody else, I imagine we'll put your hakodah.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do what